And a good afternoon, everybody. Kenny Albert along with Tom Verducci, Harold Reynolds, JP Morosi with us as well. Nationals with an opportunity to advance to the NL Championship Series. Washington with a 2-1 lead. Dodgers hope to force a Game 5 in our nation's capital on Thursday. And Tom, the big story around here this morning, the Dodgers electing to use their ace, Clayton Kershaw, on short rest today.
This is a legacy-building day for Clayton Kershaw. He already has a big reputation, a 3-time Cy Young Award winner, but the Dodgers are asking a big ask. Save our season and do it on short rest. Now, he's done the short rest before in the postseason, and he's done it very well with a 1.89 ERA. But he's never pitched in this circumstance, a season in which he lost 10 weeks with a back injury and was really grueling through his Game 1 start. Clayton Kershaw is being asked to save the season here, and I believe he's got the stuff to do it. The two questions are, how long can he last, and how good can he be? Those answers may last beyond today.
Dodgers, Tom, won Game 1 in D.C. despite Kershaw pitching only 5 innings. Nationals, Harold, have won the last 2 games. They scored 8 runs here at Dodger Stadium yesterday. Jason Worth with the big blow.
He's been the difference maker. You know, you were wondering where are the Nationals going to get the offense from. Well, Jason Worth has really been the straw stirring the drink. He's been able to come up with the big hits and driving the ball. But it's not just the offense. He's played tremendous baseball out in the field, making nice plays defensively. But the one stat that stands out, 15 postseason home runs for Jason Worth. Ties him 11th all-time with Babe Ruth. It ties him with Babe Ruth. What? Yeah, the new Bambino. Pretty good stuff.
So pretty good company. Jason Worth and Babe Ruth. Joe Ross getting set to make his first career postseason start for the Nationals, who look to close it out. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. Game 4, NLDS, coming up on FS1. Dodgers and Nationals next. Back in Los Angeles for the 4th consecutive October. Clayton Kershaw on a 70-degree day today starts Game 4 of the National League Division Series for the Dodgers on short rest. The 3-time Cy Young Award winner got off to an excellent start for the Dodgers this season. Record of 11-1, including 9-10 strikeout games. Continued his success in the month of May, but then missed all of July, all of August. Was on the disabled list due to a back injury. Returned in September. 5 regular season starts plus Game 1 on Friday night. His numbers, the scouting report on Kershaw.
Well, start with this, Kenny. He's in a good place. Career ERA in Dodger Stadium, 1.99. That is the lowest in the last 100 years of any pitcher in any ballpark. Yeah, he likes being at home. Lost and found. Check the stadium, lost and found. He's looking for his slider. He didn't have that in Game 1. Only 3 swings and misses on the slider. That tied his season low. And triple digits, not velocity, pitch count. Exhausted at 101 in Game 1. I think that's about where he will wind up today.
Kershaw 8-1 at Dodger Stadium this season. The batting order for the Nationals. Trey Turner leads off. Bryce Harper back in the number 2 spot. Then Jason Worth, Daniel Murphy will bat cleanup. Anthony Rendon hits 5th. Then Ryan Zimmerman. Bottom of the order, Danny Espinosa, Pedro Severino. And the pitcher for the Nationals today, Joe Ross. Dusty Baker's Nationals won 95 games during the regular season. They have a 2-1 lead over the Dodgers in the NLDS, and we are underway as Trey Turner lines the first pitch from Clayton Kershaw into left field for a base hit.
Well, we see already the adjustment that's going to be made. Be aggressive. And, Tom, we talked about that. They got deep in counts on Kershaw, and they were able to go get it. He was able to go get them, and especially Rich Hill. You see the difference already.
Well, they know Kershaw pounds the strike zone. 70% first pitch strikes, most of them fastballs. Don't wait against Clayton Kershaw.
So with Turner on at first, here's Bryce Harper. 3-4-11 in the series. Has a hit in each of the first 3 games. Remember, the Dodgers have scored first in all 3 games. Nationals have not scored a first-inning run. In fact, the Nationals, their batters guys have struck out 8 times in the first inning over the first 3 games.
That was big, not putting the ball in play. You're absolutely right. But the big issue I'm looking at right now is Clayton Kershaw and how much a game changer Trey Turner is when he gets on first base. We saw the disruption the other day, and it's already starting already.
We had a hard time getting a read on Kershaw. Kershaw has a very good pickoff move.
Turner with 33 steals during the regular season, 32 following the All-Star break. Kershaw with the most career pickoffs among active pitchers, including the postseason.
Sometimes as a base runner, when you got a guy that can pick guys off real well, even though you got a high percentage, it's an advantage for your hitters too. Let Harper try to shoot something through that hole and swing the bat. Now you're sitting in a 2-0 situation. I'm letting Bryce go ahead and swing the bat. Last thing I want to do is get picked off. The disruption's already working without having to run.
The 2-0 from Kershaw. Harper fouls it back.
Well, we've talked throughout this series about the way the Dodgers have been attacking Bryce Harper. Fastballs up and away. Make sure it's above the belt and make sure it's away. Anything that leaks over inside half into the nitro zone of Bryce Harper.
Jason Worth on deck. Harper has not had much success against Kershaw throughout his career. Just 2 for 18. The 2-1 fouled off to the left side. Now 2-2.
Well, you can really see from up in the press box how Bryce is pulling off those pitches. The other day, Tom, in Washington, he got a base hit to left field on a pitch. And you said, book that swing. We're not seeing that the first 2 swings there.
He's got a very unorthodox swing. Even when he's going well, that front shoulder will go up and away from the plate, even when he's going well.
little cat and mouse game. And what happens with a pitcher like Kershaw? He's not going to show you his best pickoff move until he needs it. You may see it now. That was another show me. Now 2-2. If he can pick him off, get it out, and you got Harper with 2 strikes, you get basically a double play now when you're able to get to the next hitter. So you may see his best move here.
There goes Turner, the 2-2, and Harper fouls it back to the screen.
Saw the success rate for Trey Turner at 85%, well above major league average, about 70%. Against Kershaw, it goes down to 50% because he's so quick to the plate. But Trey Turner is so fast, it doesn't matter. Typically, the green light is 1-3 or 1-4, the time for the pitcher to get the ball to the plate. Kershaw's down at 1-2. That's still good enough for Turner to outrun the baseball.
The last 2 National League most valuable players, Kershaw in 2014, Harper last season. Kershaw missing high, and the count is full.
And for those of you that don't believe base running changes the game, Harper has not seen a breaking ball. When has Bryce Harper not seen a curveball against a left-hander? Trey Turner has changed that because they want to get a fastball where they might have a chance to throw him out. So that sits in Harper's favor right here.
Turner with a leadoff single on the first pitch of the game. There he goes, 3-2, another foul off to the right side.
That was a danger pitch right there. Remember, they want to keep the ball away from Bryce Harper. Yeah, it was interesting. Dusty Baker put Bryce in the 2-hole and liked the idea of getting Harper to see more fastballs. See that pitch missing location. I'm not sure that's a good thing because Bryce is one of the better breaking ball hitters in all of baseball. And the Dodgers' plan of attack fastballs up and away has worked throughout this series.
Yeah, but any hitter will tell you, you want fastballs to hit. I mean, it's great that Bryce has high percentage on breaking balls, but everybody works off a fastball. You take batting practice off fastballs. Everything. I'm not saying anything that you don't know, Tom. I know you know that. I'm just saying that for those listening, I think he would like to have a fastball coming. And it's nice to know it's coming in a situation like this.
8th pitch of the at-bat, and that's the 5th foul ball.
But I think it's got to be the 8th fastball he's seen. I haven't recalled a breaking ball. The other thing that's happening is Trey Turner's got a chance to see Kershaw's move. He's starting to pick up on it. I'm surprised Kershaw has not gone over again. He's had 3-2 on him twice, and he's ran. I would give him another look, just courtesy. You may pick him off. You don't know.
No pickoffs during the regular season for Kershaw. 9 last year.
There's that courtesy.
Top of the 1st inning in Los Angeles. Turner takes his lead off first. There he goes. 9th pitch of the at-bat to Harper is ball 4. So the Nationals now with runners on 1st and 2nd and nobody out.
Well, and to Tom's point, Tom, you made a point that about the pitch count. That's a huge at-bat. Stress at-bat. You're working to count on him. He's already at 10 pitches, and he's 1st and 2nd, no outs.
Yeah, he fouled off some really good pitches. Good pitches in terms of the Dodgers' attack. Fastballs up and forced Kershaw into that slider, which, again, from game 1, very unusual to see him not command that slider as he normally does.
There's pitching coach Rick Honeycutt. Kershaw walked only 11 batters during the regular season in 21 starts. He walked 1 in game 1. And now Harper here in the 1st inning in game 4 as Jason Worth steps to the plate. Howard, you talked about him during our open. 3 for 4 with a home run yesterday.
Well, he's been hot swinging the bat right now. And the one thing you can do is get him on a breaking ball out in front, maybe get a double play if you're Kershaw in this situation. But he's smoking hot right now. And don't forget a double steal possibility with both those guys on base.
We saw that from the Nationals in the 3rd inning of game 1 with Kershaw on the mound. Harper and Worth with the double steal, which helped lead to 2 Washington runs.
Well, he's pretty careful about not letting runners pick up any rhythm in terms of the set position. He hasn't allowed a stolen base of third base since 2011, only 6 in his career. Nice location right there.
Worth behind on the count, 0-2.
Remember, we saw this combination of conversations a lot.
Yeah, the Dodgers noticed that the Washington runners at second base were really locked in on the signs. And they just said better to be super careful and make sure we switch them up by word of mouth and not get crossed up at all.
You know what I did a lot? When I had a left-handed pitcher, I would look at his grip, and he's going to tell you by grip if he's going fastball or breaking ball. You get a breaking ball grip, you take off and run. So even if I wasn't worried about being able to relay signs, you learn how to do pitch grips. And Tom, I think I would come to you and say, hey, can you show me some grips after the presentation you gave us the other day on Rich Hill?
That's only if you're going really bad. You can come to me for advice. Let's see if Clayton has one of those swing and miss sliders in his bag that we haven't seen in this series.
See Chase Utley just standing there almost like a first baseman. And Trey Turner starts to break. This is a good double look by Kershaw. Usually you go on guys' head turns and everything else. Clayton does a nice job of mixing the rhythm and almost had an opportunity to get Turner. But I think this is the guy you want to run at the plate. You want that right-hander at the plate. When you get that right-hander blocking the view of the catcher, has to throw around him. This is the guy you want to run with at the plate if you're Trey Turner. I think he's going to go sometime this sequence if Worth continues to work this count to a favorable account.
A 1-2 from Kershaw, and Worth is down on strikes.
Beautiful pitch from Kershaw here, the breaking ball, the real slow hook. We hadn't seen that all game, and he breaks it out right there when he needs it. Beautiful.
It's a thing of beauty. I was talking to Danny Espinosa about that pitch. Saw that a couple of times in game 1. He said even if you see it come up out of the hand, he said the break on that curve is really unlike any other break. It's just hard to track, and it's late as well. It drops into the zone.
Well, the beauty of it, it's 74 miles an hour, and his fastball's been 94. So that's 20-mile-an-hour difference of trying to sit back, hold yourself back to see that ball.
One away, here's Daniel Murphy, who went 0 for 4 in yesterday's game, had 3 hits in game 2. Nationals led all of baseball in runs scored in the first inning during the regular season, but they've been outscored in the first inning of this series 3-0. Turner, a leadoff single, a walk to Harper. Murphy went around, 1-1.
That was a nice pitch. I'm watching Bryce Harper. You know, we're talking about the double steal a lot and the potential of Turner running. Being that trail runner, Harper's job is to watch Trey Turner. You see how he's positioned. So if Turner bluffs like he did before, you can't run into an out. You have to make sure of all certainty that he's going to go ahead and make his run. But look at how big a lead Harper has. He can wait a little bit longer to make sure he goes.
Murphy with a base hit into right field. Here's Turner heading home, and the Nationals take a 1-0 lead.
Third baseman number 6, Anthony Rendon.
Well, Tom, you talk about this a lot. How quick a guy, you know, I hear you say, hey, he's thrown a number of pitches, hasn't been in the stretch yet. He threw 1 pitch, and then he's been in the stretch the rest of the time.
Yeah, they just don't know what to do with Daniel Murphy. Maybe next time tell him what's coming, because he has just been on balance, on time throughout this series. Kershaw trying to get him off balance with that big looping curveball behind the fastball. He wasn't buying it. Great balance at the plate.
I'm surprised Harper didn't go to third. He had such a big lead, and it was a slow ground ball through the hole he knew it was going through. I thought he might end up at third base and be first and third in that situation. So he got a little bit of a break there.
Really good arm in right field in Josh Reddick.
So Murphy drives in Turner. Here's Anthony Rendon, who went deep in yesterday's game.
Here's a look at Harper's run right here. Remember, he had that huge lead, right? So he's going. He looked over his shoulder and went to third base. Coach held him up. But I think from where he started at, he might have been able to push that a little bit.
So Daniel Murphy continues to haunt the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League Division Series. Last year as a member of the New York Mets, 3 home runs, including 2 off Kershaw. He drives in the first run of this game. Murphy now 5 hits in the series, 3 runs batted in. Rendon has had success against Kershaw, 7 for 19 over the course of his career, including a couple of hits in game 1. I don't have it. Spanish language telecast available today on Fox Deportes. 20 pitches to this point. Still only 1 out.
Yeah, and you want to get through an inning with anywhere from 10 to 15 pitches to kind of be able to calculate that out and get you a 7th or 8th inning. Right now, 20 pitches kind of puts all that in jeopardy early, but he can turn around and get quick outs. I'm not saying that's over, but that's kind of what you try to shoot for when you're looking at the numbers.
The 1-2 to Rendon. Another visit to the mound from Grandal.
Well, you know, Bryce Harper's a former catcher in his day. When he was getting drafted, in his day, he's only 23 years old, but when he was
for another
back
5
catching,
days.
Yeah, another 5 days, he turns 24. But it was interesting. He decided to run. He stopped, but he got the slow breaking ball. Remember, I was talking about pitch grips. That's the one you want to run on if you're going to steal third. That slow looping hook. I don't think he runs now with 2 strikes. You strike him out, throw him out, inning's over.
Rendon got a piece of it.
That's the better slider from Kershaw. It's the best one we've seen. Put it in a good spot. Back foot that to a right-handed hitter. It's a nice job by Rendon just getting to another pitch. Haven't seen many of these from Kershaw. It's not the swing and miss, but you have to like the break on it, late break if you're the Dodgers. A good sign.
Well, this is not the way they drew it up. If you want to know how Kershaw's stuff is, all you got to do is go back and look at the Harper at bat and the Rendon at bat. When he can't put guys away with 2 strikes, that tells you he doesn't have the hop on the ball that he normally does. And that, to me, is the difference with when you're talking about getting length out of Clayton Kershaw and what kind of stuff is he going to have. Those are 2 indicators for me moving forward.
A 9-pitch at bat to Harper. This is pitch number 7 to Rendon, missing low and away. 2-2. 24 pitches to this point, the most for Kershaw in the first inning of a game this season.
And this is a guy who hitters hit 128 against on 2-strike breaking balls, and he hasn't been able to find the put-away breaking ball.
Shallow right. Reddick for out number 2.
Yeah, he's going to have to battle through this game. There's no doubt about it to get as far as he can. His stuff isn't as electric. But this is the great thing about Clayton Kershaw. We saw it the other night, how he knows how to battle and compete. And he's going to have to compete the whole way through to continue to keep the Dodgers in this game until they can get to the bullpen at a reasonable time. this first innings kind of knocked any thought of him going deep in the game out the box.
Manager Dave Roberts telling us that Kershaw was informed last night, about an hour after the conclusion of Game 3. He said Kershaw wanted to pitch. He gives us the best chance to win, and hopefully he will give us length. Julio Urias would have started today had the Dodgers won the game yesterday. Here's Ryan Zimmerman with 2 outs. Runners on first and second for the Nationals.
And also, Urias would have started this game if Kenta Maeda had pitched deeper into his start yesterday. But only giving the Dodgers 3 innings, taxed the bullpen. Dave Roberts said, I've got to go with Kershaw because he's a better bet to give me length with a tired bullpen than Urias. And already length in question with Kershaw.
Zimmerman, center field, Jock Peterson. And now coming over in right center, it's Reddick to end the inning. Nationals strike first in Game 4. Getting set to lead off for the Dodgers. He'll be followed by Corey Seager, then Justin Turner. Adrian Gonzalez bats cleanup. Josh Reddick 5th, Jock Peterson 6th, then Crandall, Tolles, and Kershaw as the Dodgers get set to face the 23-year-old right-hander Joe Ross, who will make his first career postseason start. 19 starts during the regular season. He was on the disabled list for 2 months due to a right shoulder injury. Has made 3 starts since returning. This is first action in 13 days. Huntley 2 for 9 of the series. Takes ball 1. Utley, Seager, and Turner for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the first inning. Murphy charging. 1 away.
Well, Joe Ross has one of the best sliders in the game. Call it a wipeout slider. 70% of his strikeouts come on the slider, especially to the back foot of the left-handed hitter. Speaking of lefties, they hit well against him. 92 points higher than do righties. The Dodger lineup should be set up well against Joe Ross. Lots of lefties. And it's a bullpen game. You mentioned it, Kenny. Coming off that shoulder inflammation that kept him out a couple of months, not fully stretched out. He hasn't thrown 100 pitches since back in June.
Here's Corey Seager. Over the first 3 games in this series, he has seen 6 pitches in the first inning, 2 home runs, a double, 3 runs batted in.
Pretty good starter.
In all other innings, he's 0 for 10. But tremendous in the first inning. A first pitch home run in game 1. The first pitch double in game 3. Homered on the 4th pitch in game 2.
Well, he's got a lot of fastballs that first inning and attacked them right there. You saw a little bit different. A little changeup on 1-0. We watched him 3-0 green light on a fastball out in Washington for a home run. The first home run in the series was a fastball, first pitch. Right there, a little something different.
The only other Dodgers shortstop with multiple home runs in one postseason, Pee Wee Reese.
You wouldn't think
Seager
Pee Wee
joining
would
that short list.
Yeah, I didn't think Pee Wee would be that power guy jumping in there.
Seager 3 for 3 lifetime against Joe Ross with a home run. But this time Ross wins the battle 2 away.
Third baseman, number 10.
That's
Justin
the wipeout
Tucker.
slider. That's going to be his go-to pitch with 2 strikes. Watch it continue to run in, down and in to Corey Seager.
I felt like the 1-0 changeup changed that whole at bat right there, because then it allowed him to pitch the fastball in and then come back with that slider you're talking about. They handled him well for the first time in the first inning, Kenny.
Dodgers, have we mentioned, have scored in the first inning in each of the first 3 games. Here's Justin Turner. He's 4 for 8 in the series, and he is plunked. That is the 7th hit batsman of this series in 3 games plus 1 inning.
Well, you saw him try to get in on Seager on the 1-1 pitch that he fouled off. Right there, trying to get in and Justin Turner.
That's 2-seamer, sinker coming in. Just lost it a little too early. Right-handed sinkers, you're going to lose it to the arm side, and that just no chance for Justin Turner to get out of the way.
That's the last thing you want to hear, though. Man, that hurts. That's smart. You know, I just realized Turner's number 10 playing third. I saw Ron Say down here today. He was number 10 playing third base when the Dodgers were making those great playoff runs. That was my childhood right there, guys. The Penguin.
Of course, one of his fellow infielders this year, Davey Lopes, first base coach with the Nationals.
Yes.
Got Murphy's positioning here.
Saw Steve Garvey here, the whole infield. I didn't see Bill Russell, but I saw Garvey, Lopes, Say.
Daniel Murphy playing the rover position out there at short right field. That's deep.
Adrian Gonzalez just 2 for 13 in the series.
Another 1-0 changeup.
You want to go to it between pitches? Okay. The series thing. A 1-1 from Ross to Gonzalez. Well hit, deep right center. Harper back on the track and is gone. Well, the Dodgers do it again in the first inning. Adrian Gonzalez, a 2-run shot.
Talking to Adrian around the batting cage today, and I asked him, how's the ball carrying this ballpark? He said, a day game it goes. You get a ball up, you just got to touch it. Well, he touched it. He got a pretty swing on a high fastball and drove it out of here.
Ball 1 to Josh Reddick. So the Dodgers now with 3 first-inning home runs in this series. Seager with a pair, and now Gonzalez, his 6th career postseason home run.
Well, it was such a pretty swing. He's such a great hitter. Look at how high this fastball is. And it ran back out over the plate. And a good hitter like Adrian is not going to miss it. He put a beautiful swing on it. And a camera shot. A little selfie.
Ground ball to the first baseman. Zimmerman takes it to the bag himself. But the Dodgers, for the 4th straight game, have the lead after the first inning. Gonzalez takes Ross deep. Game 4 of the NLDS. 2-1 Los Angeles. NLDS continues next on FS1. Cubs battle the Giants in Game 4. If either of these series extend to 5 games, we'll be right back here on FS1 on Thursday. Friday, the ALCS kicks off on TBS. Blue Jays and the Indians. What a game in San Francisco last night.
You stay up for it?
I did.
I think it just ended, didn't it?
11:43 Pacific.
I tried to hang. I was out.
So was Dusty Baker.
And Dave Roberts.
2 managers. Said, I'll get the score in the morning.
Remember, the start time of this game was predicated on the result of last night's game. If the Cubs had won, this game would have started 3 hours later here in Los Angeles.
I did the same thing Dave Roberts did. Dave told us he woke up and looked at his MLB.com app. And he said, okay, all right, here's when we're starting. I did the same thing.
He set the alarm for 8 just in case the Giants won, and this game would start at 2 Pacific. Danny Espinosa, 3 strikeouts against Kershaw in Game 1. And he has struck out 6 times in the series, still without a hit.
See that real big swing from the right side. Needs to shorten that up.
Called strike three.
That was, he was sitting on that little, guessing on that curveball. He's like, all right, he struck me out, and I haven't come close to hitting that, and he just snuck a fastball right down the middle. That's when they get in your head. You start thinking about, okay, what's he going to try to do? That ball's right center cut. He's like, I may not have a chance off him. What you got to do against a guy like that, you get your fastball and you got to hit it.
Where you bunt. He's a very good bunter. Next time, try that.
Yeah.
Here's Pedro Severino. Doubled off Kershaw in game one.
He sees the ball good. He just spit on that pitch right there like it was no big deal.
Yeah, that double was on a high fastball out of the zone. Very impressive.
Severino slices this one into right. Reddick is under it. Now 2 away. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the second inning. Well, guys, as you know, over the first 3 games, the average time of game just under 4 hours. There have been 27 pitching changes. The teams a combined 0 for 9 with the bases loaded. 49 men left on base, and including Turner today, 7 have been hit by a pitch, and the Dodgers have now scored in the first inning of all 4 games. Little series by the numbers for you, Harold.
And this is big right here for Kershaw. He got right back in it. Now he's at 34 pitches. Remember how much he struggled the first inning, 27 pitches, and looked like he wasn't going to be able to go very deep. Get a couple quick outs. You get the pitcher swinging at the first pitch right there. 7 pitches in this inning. He's got a chance to get out of it with maybe an 8-pitch inning. Now the average is right back where you want it, around 15 to 20 pitches, and you're good to go.
Joe Ross, not an easy out. Terrific athlete. Good hitter. Had 2 hits in a game against the Dodgers earlier this season.
Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke, to me, the best in the business at playing catch-up when it comes to pitch counts. If they have to grind through one tough inning, they are much more efficient immediately. You're seeing it right now.
Here's the 0-2 from Kershaw. And he retires the Nationals in order on 9 pitches in the second inning after throwing 27, a career postseason high in the first. sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live boss.
I could do a pitch grip on the slider.
And by Bud Light, raise one to right now.
I think that was the wrong card, guys. Didn't match the screen.
Bottom of the second inning. Dodgers with a 2-1 lead on the Nationals as Jock Peterson gets set to lead off against Joe Ross. Dodgers with 2 runs in the first inning after Ross retired the first 2 Dodgers. Turner hit by a pitch, and then Gonzalez went deep.
You know, Tom, you were talking about the difference with Ross facing right-handers and left-handers. And most left-handed hitters are guys that handle sinker ball pitchers pretty good, because we all know traditionally left-handed hitters hit that low ball down and in real well. And if he leaves one up a little bit, it will carry like he did with Adrian Gonzalez. But you should get a pretty good path at a ball like Jock Peterson fouled that one off.
Good sinker right there. I think he's got a little bit of game plan differently than usual early. That changeup we saw featured in the first inning maybe 4 or 5 times. Course of a game typically only throw about 8 or 9 of those. Did a good job mixing it up. Just to make sure he has to get that sinker down. Here he's going 4-seamer up. Way up.
Yeah, the combination of the fastball and changeup with a sinker ball pitcher is very difficult because they're coming out of the same arm angle. It looks the same, a fastball and changeup, because the really release point is where you're trying to read that ball, and the changeup is basically pulling the string on it.
A 1-2 from Ross. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And to me, that changeup of Joe Ross is still a work in progress. It's a next level pitch for him. In other words, it's good right now, but he can get to the next level when he's got enough confidence to back up the 2 hard pitches, the fastball and slider, with a really honest changeup.
The 2-2. Jock Peterson down on strikes.
There it was. Took a little something off it.
I mean, hitters have hit 350 off his changeup this year. You wouldn't know it, but some of the ones he's thrown already in this game.
Well, here's a look at it. I mean, good movement. 91. Maybe just took a little something off a sinker.
They typically throw that changeup hard in the high 80s, maybe a little extra adrenaline and rest.
Here's Yasmani Grandal. 2 for 11 in the series. Both hits coming in game 1. Led all major league catchers with 27 home runs during the regular season.
I'll get back to it. I didn't have a chance to do it. Never mind.
Grandal sends this one into shallow left center. Worth able to make the play after he called off the shortstop Espinosa. Now 2 away.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking to Dusty Baker before the game during batting practice, and you know, he played a number of years here in left field for the Dodgers, and he said one of the things he has taught guys to look for, you're going to be in a sun field, particularly in left, but also how you start. Don't start with your body in a position where your hands are on your knees and you're bent forward. You almost have to start with your body upright, because then you're not losing the ball when your head starts to move. See where Jason Worth is standing? Almost like a tailback with his hands on his hips, right? On his thighs. Now where he's bent down right now, he's just resting. But when he gets ready to pitch, it's going to be a little more upright, so you're not jumping up and your head's losing that ball when it's hit. I thought it was very interesting that Dusty had talked about doing that in the position to start in.
On the ground to the second baseman Murphy to retire Andrew Tolles. So Joe Ross retires Dodgers in order on 9 pitches in the bottom of the second inning. On 3 days rest for the Dodgers here in Game 4 as they look to stave off elimination, facing Trey Turner, top of the order for the Nationals. Turner, Harper, Worth.
Well, it's interesting. Trey Turner started the game, first pitch fastball swung, right? There he lays off a high fastball. But he had there's a slider right there. He had 4 strikeouts, all on off-speed pitches. So what happens to a leadoff man when that happens? You get aggressive on that fastball. You still want to stay disciplined, look for the one you're looking for, but you're trying to jump that heater before you get deep in a count.
1-2 on Turner.
He's going to see a steady diet of breaking pitches.
Now you're starting to see that nasty slider from Kershaw. As beautiful and dangerous as that curveball is, I actually think the slider is even nastier when it's on.
Ole AB, you going to make it? I think that was just a show-me pitch. Kind of get him off that mindset of a breaking ball. 2-2. You still got to protect the heater. I think he comes with something off speed.
The 2-2 from Kershaw.
Cutter. So Kershaw's starting to get in a nice rhythm. Thinking-wise and also execution on the pitches.
Bryce Harper on deck. 2-1 Dodgers, top of the 3rd inning. Nationals lead the series 2-1. Turner with his second base hit of the game. Another single into left field.
Number 34, Bryce Harper.
Wow, Turner almost went to second on that throw in from Toles. Hey, let's look back at Bryce Harper's first at bat. All right, a lot of fastballs. Remember, Turner on base. So he's going to see a steady diet of balls straight that he hadn't got a chance to see really in this series. That's up and out. He ends up having a long AB here, fouling off several pitches. And Turner never runs on this and steals a bag. He ends up walking him. So we're back to the same sequence. He's on first, and you got Harper at the plate. See how it plays out.
Well, you saw that great at bat, grinding out at bat, the foul ball right there. Foul balls are paper cuts to pitchers. May not hurt, but you get enough of them, death by 1,000 paper cuts, because 9 foul balls in that first inning by Washington hitters helped drive up the pitch count.
5 by Harper. Nothing in 2.
Remember, I was saying the put-away stuff wasn't really there in the first inning, but he faced their best part of their lineup. He got a quick out inning, short pitch counts on the bottom part of the half of the order. So it's important the top half of the order continues to attack. I love that move from a left-handed pitcher. Now that gives the base runner something else to think about. You have to shorten your lead to honor that snap move, and he's been having a tough time reading it. He's going to run.
Harper called out on strikes. So after a 9-pitch at bat in the first inning, he strikes out on 3 pitches in the 3rd.
Well, Howard, you talked about covering the different speeds of Kershaw. Fastball mid-90s. Now he's going to come with a 20-mile-an-hour less curveball. And right back now to high velocity 95. Oh, by the way, on the black. Textbook.
Yeah, Bryce missed his pitch. The first one was the fastball. On the inside half, he went up there knowing he's going to get it, and that changed the AB for him.
1 away. Here's Jason Worth. Struck out his first time up. And Worth with a base hit into right field. Turner heading for 3rd. And he is in. So the Nationals with runners on the corners and only 1 out.
You know, we always talk about speed when a guy steals a base, but he just turned the inning upside down, going 1st to 3rd on this ground ball. This ball's hit pretty sharp, but Trey Turner outruns the baseball and had a clear understanding of what he was doing on the base paths. He didn't need a third base coach. He knew what he was doing. He was running the whole way. And now you set up a first and third situation. Watch Turner, no hesitation, great turn, and comes in knowing it's going to be a head first slide, knowing exactly what he wants to do. That's how you set up big innings. First and third situations set up big innings.
Daniel Murphy's done everything this series. Now he's doing some groundskeeping. Got to cater to this post-game spread too. Kershaw's tried fastballs, curveballs, sliders with Murph. You're right about this guy, Harold. I mean, I'm not sure anybody in baseball is faster. You say Billy Hamilton, I think he's in the same category.
Murphy singled in a run his first time up. By the way, who was one of the coaches who Turner talked to about base running and base stealing when he was in the San Diego Padres system? Manager of the Dodgers, Dave Roberts.
Interesting.
He said they didn't spend a lot of time together. Turner was in big league spring training for a brief period of time and had some conversations with Roberts about base stealing. First and third, one out. The 0-1. And Murphy fouls it off back behind third, 0-2.
Well, you know, we always use that term ball player, right? You always used to hear that all the time. This guy's a ball player. That's Trey Turner.
I'm still stunned. The Nationals got Trey Turner and Joe
good.
Ross in the same deal from the San Diego Padres.
This is a different Trey Turner, man. He's developed nice. Really has.
Left center. Peterson makes the catch. Here comes Turner. He will score easily. The Nationals have tied the game at 2.
You know, such a cliche-ish line is that's a nice piece of hitting. But let me explain to you what that means. Daniel Murphy's up there 0-2, and all he's got to do is cover the plate. He doesn't hit into a double play. He actually lines a ball to left field. It's just very simple, fluid approach. Look at him take this. That is a piece of hitting by staying through the ball. Everything you want textbook. Staying through it, drive it the other way, stay inside the ball. Any cliche you want to throw out there, he did it and drove a bullet to the left center field gap to drive in the run. That was beautiful.
Rendon takes strike one, so Daniel Murphy has driven in both Nationals runs today. Another leadoff single by Turner. Went to third on the Worth base hit. And then scores on the Murphy sac fly. Rendon fly to right his first time up as Kershaw throws over to first. Game 4 National League Division Series. Nationals with a 2-1 series lead as Rendon takes high and inside, now 1-1. Daniel Murphy is driven in both Washington runs. 1-2 on Rendon.
Well, I can tell you this is a game nobody wants to be behind anyway, but especially today, lighting conditions will come into play. Interesting, talking to Dave Roberts about yesterday's game, he sent Chuch Ruiz to take an at-bat against the left-hander in the 5th inning. Why so early? He said he knew the lighting conditions, the hitting conditions would only get worse, and he wanted him up there when he could best see the baseball. Shadows affecting how a game is managed, not just played.
Rendon a swing and a miss. Throw to first. And that will do it for the Nationals, but they score a run thanks to the bat of Murphy and the speed of Trey Turner. Those affected by severe weather and disasters need help now. To support those impacted by Hurricane Matthew, text Matthew to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. 2-2 game, bottom of the third here in Los Angeles, as Clayton Kershaw leads off against Joe Ross. Kershaw 0 for 1 at the plate in game one.
Well, this guy's a warrior, man. Kershaw, the guy I'm talking about. You look at the numbers there, but he's a guy who loves to let the bat fly, swing the bat. I don't think we'll see him swing a whole lot here. We didn't see it the other night. He's healthy, sound enough to pitch, but he's not all the way back. It's an awful quick turnaround, Tom, for him to get back healthy, get back on the mound. It's only really had about 6 weeks of pitching.
Kershaw went 5 innings in game one on Friday night. Dave Robertson after the game, we stole a game when Clayton did not have his best stuff. And now they go back to Kershaw on short rest for the 4th consecutive year in the division series.
Part of the calculus of sending him out here on short rest is that he is fully healthy.
After the
doctors got involved in this decision.
Beautiful.
Kershaw with a base hit into the left field corner. He's heading for second. And he is in with a leadoff double.
That's the other part of the game that he brings for you. I guess if you're wondering anything of how well he's feeling, that'll tell you.
Well, I love to watch this guy compete with runners on base, and as a hitter with 2 strikes, he grinds out at bats with 2 strikes.
For 26, Chase.
Professional piece of hitting right there. Ball got deep. He took it the other way. And how about the hustle?
Kershaw had 1 double among his 8 hits during the regular season. Leads off the 3rd inning with a 2-base hit. And now Chase Utley, who grounded out to the second baseman Murphy his first time up.
Well, they got the right guy up there to get Kershaw over. Pull hitter Chase Utley. They're going to use the right side of the field.
The 1-0. Now 1-1.
He's on to that changeup effectively when he needed it. That's a gutsy pitch right there when you got a runner at second. You know the hitter's trying to get him over. You don't want to speed his bat up, but he got the swing and miss out of it. Clearly looking for a fastball. The deeper he goes in the count, now you look for it and adjust. And I think you put that breaking ball in play and pull it to second if he throws that changeup again.
Nice block by Severino.
Really was, Ken. Quick on his feet. Watch him slide. He knows that ball's going to break back to him, but he smothered it, making sure there was nowhere for it to go. You also know you got a guy at second, and a pitcher not probably going to advance on just a normal bounce. If you keep it in front of you, he's not running.
Both Dodger hits have gone for extra bases. The Gonzalez homer in the first. Kershaw doubled here in the third. The 2-1 to Chase Utley. 2-2.
Always a lot of pressure on a third base coach when you have a pitcher running at second base. And I spoke with Chris Woodard, the third base coach. Scouting report coming into this series on Bryce Harper was that they couldn't run on him. He's had some arm issues throwing the baseball, have been playing shallow to protect that. The other day, he sent Justin Turner with 1 out, and he noticed the throw that Bryce Harper uncorked. He said, I won't do that again with the middle of the order up. That one throw from Bryce Harper, who is now back to playing normal deep right field, really changed the way the Dodgers think about the arm of Bryce Harper. You see the depth in right field. He had not been playing back there about 3 weeks ago.
Utley down on strikes. Third strikeout for Joe Ross, and for more on the National starter, downstairs to JP Morosi. JP.
Thank you, Kenny. We have a Major League Baseball All-Star watching this game from the front row. Tyson Ross, the older brother of Joe Ross. Tyson drove up from his home in San Diego for this game with his fiancee Ashley and also his sister Frankie. Now, this family, Kenny, is extraordinary. Their father, Willie, is a pediatrician. Mother, Jean, is an ER nurse. Frankie is actually a second-year medical student at USC. And I had to ask Tyson, who of the brothers has the better slider? Tyson somewhat admitted, when I'm healthy, it might be me.
Good stuff. Thanks, JP. Tyson has spent 7 seasons in the major leagues with Oakland and San Diego. As you saw, only 1 start this year due to a right shoulder injury. Here to support his brother, who makes his first career postseason start today.
Yeah, the big brother has to say he's got the better slider, and I think he does. This Joe's got a great one, and Tyson's got an unbelievable slider.
Yeah, but this brother at the plate, I'm wondering which combination. You want the Seager brothers or the Ross brothers? I like to see them all take each other on.
Don't forget, the Seager brothers have another professional playing in the Seattle system, Justin Seager.
The 0-1 to Corey Seager, and we mentioned earlier in the series, Corey and Kyle, first ever brothers in the major leagues to both hit at least 25 home runs in the same season. That has never happened before.
Yeah, man, it's impressive. Tell you what I'm watching with Ross here. He's really gone to the off-speed pitches. Not a lot of hard sinkers. Chase Utley threw him 3 changeups that he swung and missed at. Right there, you got another slider in on the hands and feet of Seager. He's really gone to the off-speed pitch quite a bit.
Speaking of brother combinations.
Yes, there's another one. Mike Maddox and Greg Maddox.
Mike, the Nationals' terrific pitching coach. By the way, guys, the Kershaw double, first extra base hit in the postseason by a Dodgers pitcher since Orel Hershiser in the '88 World Series.
Wow.
Hershiser actually had 2 doubles in that series.
You know, when you start talking about the Dodgers and World Series statistics and you hear these numbers that have never been done before, it's been a long time, things like that, you think of the history of this club. It marvels you because the Dodgers have been playing relevant baseball for so many years in this organization, all the way back to Brooklyn.
Been a long time since they've been back.
And here's another one, only the 3rd pitcher in baseball history with a hit in 4 consecutive postseasons. Ed Lopat, Tom Glavine. Full count.
Great take right there. Joe Ross threw that slider exactly where he wanted to get the chase swing. That 2-strike wipeout slider. Corey Seager was having none of it.
Now here's where you go to your off-speed pitch. If he wants to swing, fine. If not, I want to set up a double play with my hard sinker to get Turner. That's what he's got to be thinking ahead of right here.
Payoff pitch, and Seager pops it up. Backpedaling as Rendon makes the catch for out number 2.
It was.
Came right back with that slider.
Justin Turner.
Where'd he get this slider from? Well, how about big brother Tyson? Taught him the grip, how to throw it. Throws it just like the 2-seamer, just changes the grip. There's the wipeout slider. This one, perfectly placed. 3-2 pitch. Has to be start in the zone. It did. Got inside enough on Corey Seager.
So with 2 away, here's Justin Turner, hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Came around to score on the Gonzalez home run. And Turner on the first pitch sends it into left center, and it will drop. Here comes Kershaw. He scores. The Dodgers take a 3-2 lead.
Well, I think he might have got fooled. Remember, Trey Turner hasn't played a lot of outfield. That ball might have fooled him. Now, nice piece of hitting again by Turner. Remember last time they hit him in the back with a fastball. This time he jumps on the first pitch he sees. And here's a look at the center fielder. Just watch Trey Turner in center. You see he's standing up like we were talking about. This ball just died. I don't know if it's as much a result as a bad route as it was as much as this ball just top spinned on everybody and dove down before they got a chance to get there.
Dodgers back on top. Here's Gonzalez. 2-run homer in the 1st inning.
Yeah, that ball died because it was not on the barrel. Slider that worked away off the sweet spot of the barrel, so it didn't have carry to it. Tough read for any center fielder.
Well, the telltale of it, too, was Jason Worth coming over, and it died on him as well. He's the veteran outfielder out there. Wow. What a play that was.
That's the contact point on the bat right here. Slider working away, just off the end.
Trey Turner has transformed his whole game. So clutch. Coming to LA, he's found a home. To say coming back to home. He's a Long Beach kid. Back here and playing in LA. What a dream that's got to be.
Well, to give you an idea about Justin Turner, and you said he's a local kid. How long has it been since the Dodgers were in the World Series? He watched Kirk Gibson hit that home run in 1988 on the floor of his grandmother's house in Lakewood, not far from here. He was 3 years old. He says he remembers it. That's good enough for me. I'm going with it.
It's good for the story.
You guys don't remember anything from when you were 3?
I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
There's always those big moments that you remember. I can't say, honestly, I remember that.
Clayton Kershaw with a big moment here in the 3rd inning. A leadoff double. Came around to score the go-ahead run. (3-1) to Adrian Gonzalez. And the count is full.
If I hadn't seen Ross pitch before, I would think he was an off-speed pitcher. He's not showing a lot of fastballs. He's getting a lot of swing and misses on that slider you've been talking about, Tom, and the changeup. Not really challenging with, here's my fastball, hit it. The one he did challenge this guy with ended up in the seats.
There goes Turner, payoff pitch, and Gonzalez fouls it back.
Well, let's go back to StatCast on the home run in the 1st inning. Got a high fastball, hit it 404 feet with the exit velocity of 101 miles an hour.
PitchCast powered by MLB Advanced Media.
Is that good, Tom?
Most home runs are going to be over 100 for sure. That pull power for Adrian wasn't around the middle of the season. He's gotten healthier, and it's definitely back.
Turner goes, payoff pitch, slow it inside, ball 4. Gonzalez draws a 2-out walk. Here comes Mike Maddox.
I find it interesting when Mike Maddox gets to the mound. Watch the first thing he does. He'll put his hands on the guy's shoulder and almost give him a back massage. Like, okay, the relaxed grip. See that right there? Okay, look, just relax. It's okay. Here's what we're going to do. Talking situations. How you want to try to get out of this?
You know, he likes to play the role of the doctor, too. You know, the doctor feels your pulse with the 2 fingers. That's what he does. Find out if the pulse is elevated a little bit. Make sure he's giving you the right answer when he said, I'm cool. Only check your pulse first.
So you might get out there and he puts that claw on you and you say, oh, I'm fine. He says, you're coming out. Let's go to the pen. That blood pressure's a little too high.
Two on, 2 out. 1 run in for the Dodgers here in the 3rd. Josh Reddick at the plate. Grounded out to Zimmerman, his first time up. Turner and Gonzalez, the base runners. Ball 1 to Reddick.
I like it when you can see guys turn things around within the season that you're playing, and Josh Reddick's done that. He came here to LA, he really struggled early, but he's done a nice job of turning things around, and really that's the only reason he's still in the lineup, because he started to swing the bat and play. You know he's going to defend.
Had a tremendous final month of the regular season. Acquired from Oakland on August 1st, along with Rich Hill, the Game 2 starter.
Well, what he started to do was take that outside pitch the opposite way. When you come to a new place trying to hit home runs, try to pull everything. You see the patience now, not chasing. Obviously, that wasn't very close. But we saw it the other day in Washington. The base hit to left field, takes what they give him. Now you're getting that power situation. You're getting good counts. You let the bat fly. That's the biggest adjustment I watched with Josh Reddick.
The 3-0 from Ross, missing high. Ball 4 to Reddick. The Dodgers have loaded the bases for Jock Peterson.
Now that pulse starts to accelerate. 4 pitches, all lost up to the arm side.
Well, you see the infielders coming in to try to stall some time. I don't know if you have time to get Oliver Perez ready. This is a big at-bat in the game right here. If Jock Peterson can come through, you start to give him some distance.
It's 0 for 6, guys. 0 for 6. Dodgers without a base hit with the bases loaded in this series. Ball 1.
You know, this is where you want to come through. It's almost like in a game and you feel the pressure coming and you want to get them before they can call timeout. You want to get them here before they can get back in the dugout or get into the bullpen. You want to get something that can break the game open for you if you're Jock Peterson and the Dodgers right here.
He got away with one right there. Joe Ross consistently missing with the 2-seamer arm side. Now forced to throw something into the strike zone. Watch target, watch location. That's middle. I don't know that Jock Peterson is going to see that pitch again.
Peterson struck out in the 2nd inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The 1-1 from Ross. And another long foul ball down the right field line off the bat of Peterson. Now 1-2.
Well, got him out in front once again.
Watch the target again, down and away. Pulls it back over the plate. This is a very dangerous at bat for Joe Ross. Just got away with 2 mistakes. Would attempt my luck with a 3rd.
Well, and you're seeing the paranoia of maybe he's got my signs. No, those are just bad pitches. He got lucky with the 2 pitches that Jock didn't put him in the seats. If he had his signs, he would have waited a little bit longer and been able to deposit it. I think they go off speed right here, and they're trying to get that ball away. You got him out in front, pulling everything. Let's see if Jock can shoot one. When you pull a ball like that, when you're Jock Peterson, you're thinking, go back up the middle. If I can stay on the middle, I'll stay on that ball a little bit longer.
He's a better low ball hitter than he is a high ball hitter.
31st pitch of the inning from Ross, another foul.
And that was the right location. Sinker ball pitcher throws the occasional 4-seam fastball up. That was a good opportunity to throw it. Watch the target of Severino. Above the hands, just not quite enough.
Still coming back. So you want to set that, you want to set up way off the plate. If his ball's running that much back over, then you overcompensate off the plate a little bit further. Maybe you'll get the pitch where you want it.
I think you go even higher. Climb the ladder a little more.
You saw Oliver Perez in the Nationals pen. The 1-2 from Ross, missing high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
High enough.
A consistent pattern of misses. Arm side up.
Huge at bat here, Tom, because you're talking about the shadows are creeping in. The Dodgers got great momentum, but Kershaw's in a nice groove.
The 2-2. Oh, and Peterson is hit. Dodgers take a 4-2 lead on the 8th hit batsman of this series.
Tell you what, he had him measured pretty good too. Jock was having a pretty good at bat.
So that will be all for Joe Ross, who's knocking out of the 3rd inning at his first career postseason start. Here comes Perez.
Tell you what.
Make some noise!
Three-year-old making his first career postseason start. Goes only 2 2/3, 55 pitches. Responsible for the 3 base runners. Here's Oliver Perez pitching in his 3rd straight game. Comes on with the bases loaded and 2 outs to face Grandal. Our AT&T call to the bullpen. Nationals make the AT&T call to the bullpen, and it is the 35-year-old left-hander to face Grandal, who flied to left his first time up. And the Dodgers catcher takes ball 1.
I know Dusty Baker was really hoping, praying even, that he could get one more out there with Ross on Peterson. Because obviously Perez would have been a better matchup, but playing a 3rd day in a row, bullpen taxed, had to give Ross that at bat.
Ball 2. Nationals bullpen has been terrific. They have not allowed an earned run the entire series in 12 1/3.
Tell you what, the Dodgers want to capitalize here with Grandal. Even Jock Peterson was locked into an at-bat. That was maybe the worst result they would want. Is that ball to hit him? Because if he swings the bat, he's going to hit the ball hard somewhere.
We saw the 2 long foul balls down the right field line as Grandal fouls one off. 2-1.
And when you're talking matchups and you know they got Oliver Perez up there and you're going to have to try to turn Grandal over to the right side of the plate, you want Peterson to have a chance to finish that at bat swinging. You'll take the run on the hit batsman, but I'd like to get greedy right there.
Two and two.
You definitely take the hit by pitch. We haven't seen a hit with the bases loaded yet. If you think about it, typically the big leagues, the batter is going to hit about 20 or 25 points higher with the bases loaded than otherwise. Pressure's all on the pitcher. Nowhere to put you, have to throw strikes.
Dodgers, Tom, have left the bases loaded 3 times in this series over the first 3 games.
Well, it cost him the game the other night.
0 for 5 with the bases loaded in the game 2 loss. A 2-2 from Perez. Nationals get the force at second to end the inning. But the Dodgers score twice. Kershaw got things started with the leadoff double. Today's telecast is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by T-Mobile One. Welcome to Unlimited Baseball. Clayton Kershaw back on the mound. Ryan Zimmerman, first pitch, pops it up to the right side. Utley, 1 away. So Kershaw, guys, with the leadoff double, it was a 27-minute half inning. He was on the bases for 8 minutes and then did a lot of sitting around in the dugout waiting. Went 30 minutes between pitches.
You and these numbers, man, I don't know how you had time to look at your watch and figure all that out. That's amazing. Really is.
We had some help.
That's a long time to stand around, though. Yep. You know, and really, when you're coming back out of spring training, for example,
gotcha,
and you have that spring training stand around, get up, stand down, that's when your back tightens up. And so with Kershaw standing around, sitting around a lot, I'm sure you had to do a lot of stretching to get back out there, get loose, and get ready to go again.
And then Zimmerman swings at the first pitch.
Yeah.
Pops out to the second baseman. Danny Espinosa at the plate. 0 for 8 in the series with 7 strikeouts.
Clayton eating him up.
Well, I know there's been a lot of comparisons between Clayton and, of course, Sandy Koufax. You talk about the statistical comparison, the strikeout titles. I want you to watch his foot on the rubber, because that's something that Sandy Koufax did. It's called hooking the rubber, where the foot left foot is not in front of the rubber and against it, but part of the foot will be on the rubber. The reason that Koufax did it, same reason that Kershaw does it, is to set the angle of the back leg. Sandy Koufax said nothing was more important in a pitching sequence than the back leg.
Espinosa strikes out yet again.
And by setting that foot at an angle as you start the delivery, the force goes up the back leg to the hip, and the front hip will lead the pitching delivery to home plate. Instead of having the foot flat, it's a little bit angled, setting the angle as he goes forward. Right there is just balanced, but as he goes forward, right there he's establishing the proper angle of the back leg, leading with the front hip. Pitching delivery begins from the ground up.
Severino takes strike one, fly to right his first time up.
Well, it was interesting talking to Dusty Baker about Kershaw, and he was saying he's like a ballerina. Watching him move and how fluid he is, and everything has to be perfect precision for this guy. He's got it down.
Well, I don't know anybody in baseball who repeats their delivery as often as well as Clayton Kershaw, and it's not by mistake. After a start, second and third days of his start, he'll go down to the bullpen and essentially mime a bullpen session. No baseball, but go through all the deliveries, go through situations from the stretch, from the windup, and just repeat that delivery. It's the baseball version of shadow boxing, shadow pitching for Kershaw.
And what a performance for Kershaw. He's 61 pitches now. At one point, he had 27 in the first inning, right? Is that all right with that, Ken? 27 pitches in the first inning, and now he's continued to grind through to get them here to this point. You thought for sure he was going to have a longer afternoon than what he's doing right now, and he's dealing here as the shadows start to come in.
Only needed 9 pitches to retire the Nationals in the fourth. With MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. It's the only place to get it all. Live radio feeds, video highlights, pitch tracking, StatCast, and much more. Download at bat today. Andrew Toles leading off for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 4th inning against Oliver Perez, on in relief of Joe Ross. Foul ball.
Well, I think it's interesting that Toles is getting this at bat because Dave Roberts understands this is going to be a bullpen game the rest of the way out. He's saving his matchups, his defense, and his bullets for later. So he allows Toles to have this AB. That still keeps Puig. That still keeps Howie Kendrick. That still keeps all his right-handed hitters still available and not having to make any moves yet.
Yeah, 4th inning with a lead. Nobody's going to start matching up at this time. A lot of baseball left.
The 1-1. Another foul. By the way, back in April of '85, guys, the New Orleans Saints traded the former Heisman Trophy winner George Rogers and 3 draft picks to the Washington Redskins for a 1st-round pick. Who did the Saints choose with that 1st-round pick from the Redskins? Alvin Toles, Andrew's dad. He played 4 years in the NFL. He was drafted 2 selections after Refrigerator Perry and 8 after a fellow by the name of Jerry Rice.
Pretty good stuff. I thought you were going to say somebody Peyton or something, you know.
Another Hall of Famer in Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
So Toles down on strikes.
Clayton Kershaw.
Well, the bloodlines are amazing, you know, and Toles' story is incredible. We talked about that the other day. Really impressive how this young man continued to persevere and how Andrew Friedman and company gave him an opportunity to come over here and play. Finds himself in the postseason.
Released by Tampa Bay last year, he was working in a grocery store. I know you talked to him about it earlier today, Harold.
Yeah, I said, is it legit? He said, yeah, it is.
That guy was the minor league player of the year for Tampa Bay in 2013. 2014, left the game on his own for a couple of months to deal with some anxiety disorders. And then the next year he left not on his own. As you mentioned, cut by Tampa Bay, was out of baseball, stocking the freezer at a grocery store in the Atlanta area. Gabe Kapler, the scouting director for the Dodgers, said, we want you here, give you a shot in the Arizona Fall League. Started this year in Single A, now playing in the postseason as Kershaw is called out on strikes after the leadoff double in the last inning, and he came around to score a run. Kenny, he didn't even know Andrew Toles he was going to make a team in spring training. He was surprised when his name was on a list to be assigned to Class A. Wow. And when they called him up, Clayton Kershaw said, I didn't even know we had anybody by the name of Andrew Toles in our system. And here he is starting in the postseason for the Dodgers. 2 away as Perez has retired all 3 Dodgers he has faced, including the ground out with the bases loaded to end the 3rd inning. Chase Utley 0 for 2. Grounded to second and struck out. Takes a called strike, 0-1. Bottom of the 4th inning from Dodger Stadium. Dodgers with a 4-2 lead as they look to force a Game 5 in Washington on Thursday. You mean from today, right? Pitches from today. One of each of the fastball, slider, curveball, pitch cast. The 0-2 from Perez, and Utley becomes the 9th player hit by a pitch in this series, and that is a new record for a division series in either league.
Watch how Chase worked this, though. The ball's coming in. He's going to stick his little leg out there, hold it tight, reads the pitch, watch him lean. Boom. I'll take it. That's what happens when you're struggling. You're down the count. And he hangs in one like that. I'll take my bag. And it's not 99 miles an hour. Exactly. They're looking at it on their monitor to say, hey, did he make an effort to get out of the way.
How about an effort to get into the way?
They want to let them play. A lot of discussion today. From yesterday, Espinosa got hit by a pitch. It was actually a strike, but it was called hit by pitch, and he leaned into it. You talk about deception on the mound. Oliver Perez, he not only gives you all that spinning around, different things he does like Johnny Cueto, he's got a nasty pickoff move for a base runner to read him on.
Center field, Turner. And that will do it for the Dodgers. In the fourth, they lead the Nationals 4-2. Three-time Cy Young Award winner, six-time All-Star Clayton Kershaw coming back on short rest. Dodgers must win today, and they lead the Nationals 4-2. Top of the fifth inning with a pinch hitter, Michael Taylor. Michael A. Taylor batting for Oliver Perez, his first at bat in the series. Pinch ran in game one for the Nationals.
Yeah, Taylor swinging right through that fastball right there. He kind of looked at it like, what in the world was that? That's the shadows, Michael. Welcome to postseason.
I asked a couple of guys today about the lighting conditions yesterday, and they talked about right about now, shadow halfway out there. It's going to get worse even. The difficulty picking up spin. A hitter needs to pick up spin as soon as possible out of the hand, and it's just so hard to do in these lighting conditions.
Michael A. Taylor down on 3 pitches, so 1 away. Top of the fifth inning as Clayton Kershaw looks to extend this series and the Dodgers season, helping his own cause with the bat as well. Doubled to lead off an inning, came around to score a run.
I would say the word would be gutty to me. He doesn't have his great stuff, not putting guys away like we'd seen him do with the high strikeout totals, but doing everything you ask him to do to keep this club a chance to win this game.
Well, so far there's been 2 Kershaws, the one pitching to the bottom 5 hitters in the lineup where nobody's got on base, and then the top of the lineup, which is where the danger has been.
Trey Turner with a couple of hits today, and he has scored 2 runs.
See Kershaw pounding right-handers inside. That's what he does best, and he does it with all 3 pitches. This is the best of Kershaw, his 3 pitches. Watch the action, the 2 breaking balls moving into righties and pounding the inside corner with the fastball.
Pitchcast powered by MLB Advanced Media.
You know, it's interesting. We talk of pitchers as being left-handed or right-handed. Most pitchers as well favor one side of the plate or the other. To Kershaw, he is a glove side pitcher. In other words, he naturally gets the ball into right-handers. Some pitchers the opposite, more arm side, they dominate.
Can you go back and see if you can see
2-2 on Turner. 1 out, top of the 5th inning.
He's delivering in his windup.
With the Dodgers leading the Nationals 4-2.
After this,
Turner down on strikes for the 9th time in the series.
And that's what happens when you try to protect balls in, opens up away. And this guy can locate as well as anyone on both sides of the plate.
well, it's real interesting. You know, Trey Turner showed the bump. And watch Adrian Gonzalez. This is before strike 2. Watch him break and run. This is something that if I was hitting, I'd pay attention to, particularly in the shadows, because I want to push that ball on a bunt right at him. And now it's a foot race between me and the pitcher, and I'm going to beat him.
Bryce Harper takes a called strike.
So he made that move a couple times, and it just jumps out at you when you're hitting. So if you already have that in mind, he showed that bunt. I think you look for that later. That's something that Trey Turner might try to do to push that towards Adrian in that situation.
The 0-1.
Well, it's an uncomfortable time to hit right now, but especially when Clayton Kershaw is going to drop down as he did right there. The quality of swings has definitely changed with the lighting conditions.
And Clayton senses it too. The way he pitched Michael Turner, he knew the shadows were there. He took a little something off the heaters. Do the cutter. Nice job. And Tom, you talked about the hitter wants to pick up spin. You know, the one thing you're looking for in the shadows, if you can pick up a fastball, it's going to stay on the same plane, right? The other pitches are the ones that are going to give you the most trouble because they're not staying on the same plane. So if you got a pitch like Clayton does, that's a cutter or anything like that, it starts out of the same arm slot and motion, you're going to dominate hitters.
The 1-2.
We've seen some guys use sunglasses, some guys not use them. Find the baseball against one of the all-time greats. Good luck.
Up the middle. And Harper is retired. Second straight 1-2-3 inning for Clayton Kershaw. He has retired 8 straight Nationals. 5 innings for Clayton Kershaw, pitching on 3 days rest. His Dodgers lead the Nationals 4-2. Justin Turner swings at the first pitch from 22-year-old right-hander Reynaldo Lopez and grounds out to the shortstop Danny Espinosa. 1 away. So Lopez, the only Washington pitcher out of the bullpen who had not been used over the first 3 games. 11 appearances for the Nationals this season, 6 starts, but his last 5 have come out of the pen.
Well, he's a tough draw, even in good lighting. Hides the ball well, gets the glove up in the air, upper 90s fastball, and a really good breaking ball.
With 1 away, Adrian Gonzalez, and for more on Reynaldo Lopez, down to JP.
Well, Kenny, San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic is known as the cradle of shortstops, but it's also the hometown of Reynaldo Lopez. He grew up there idolizing Pedro Martinez, and the first time he met Pedro, he told me he couldn't believe how short he was. And Kenny, he said that was when he realized it doesn't matter how tall you are in this game.
Very true. Thanks, JP. Here's the 1-1 to Gonzalez, who went deep in the first inning, a 2-run shot.
Pedro stands, what, about 5'11"? Somewhere in that neighborhood. He's sitting there standing up tall in his chair right now, going, hold on, timeout, I'm not that short.
Pedro, of course, in the studio during the American League Division Series.
Yes.
Cleveland and Toronto heading to the ALCS. What do you think?
I'm a little shocked at Texas being out so fast, and Boston. 3 games in a row each team. That's the surprise. You knew the American League was fairly balanced, but not for 2 sweeps to come. I'm surprised by that. You, Tom?
I'm shocked by it. Again, with you, not by the results, but 2 sweeps. Didn't see that one coming at all. It should be a great ALCS. I mean, 2 great atmospheres when you talk about Cleveland. I know Chicago's gotten all the attention about all the droughts, the drought talk, been so long. And that Rogers Center in Toronto, as live as any ballpark anywhere.
So Cleveland almost, it looked like mid-season or so, after the Cavs had won the NBA championship, the whole city kind of rode that wave, and this team took off with it as well. It was uncanny how they just took off around the same time.
Tom, you talk about droughts. How about the drought in our nation's capital? Of course, they did not have a team for 33 years, but a Washington Major League Baseball team has not won a postseason series since 1924.
It's amazing. A lot of droughts in the postseason this year.
In fact, the Nationals franchise, which includes the Montreal Expos, have the longest drought as far as playing in a league championship series. The last LCS for the Expos was back in 1981. Every other major league team has gone to at least 1 LCS since then. Espinosa behind the bag for out number 2.
Well, we're talking about, let's go back to 81 Phillies Expos. Go ahead, Ken, you take this.
So this was the LDS. And it was Steve Rogers pitching the complete game shutout over Steve Carlton. That's the last time the Nationals franchise won a series as the Expos. But the city of Washington has not won a series since that 1924 7-game series between the Washington Senators and the New York Giants.
And that series won by the Montreal Expos exactly 35 years ago to the date.
Right.
Last time this franchise won a postseason series.
Well,
and the left fielder for Montreal at the end of that game, still alive in the postseason, Cleveland manager Terry Francona.
And then the Expos would lose to the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. A Dodger team that included Dusty Baker,
who's still alive in the postseason.
Here's the 2-1 to Reddick.
Are we supposed to say that or what?
What a job Dusty Baker has done in Washington this season. His first year as the national skipper, joining Billy Martin and Davey Johnson as the only 3 managers in Major League history to lead 4 different teams to the postseason. Dusty with the Giants, the Cubs, the Reds, and now the Nationals. Diving stop by Rendon, but the throw is not in time. Dodgers have a 2-out base runner.
Well, I talked earlier about Josh Reddick and how he turned things around here in L.A. And part of it was taking the ball the other way. And right here, he's such a great athlete. He can run. He takes a pitch and shoots it the other way. That ball, when he first got here, he's trying to pull, and he's swinging and missing. Now, as a result, puts the ball in play. Great play by Rendon to cut it off. But the bottom line, Josh Reddick gets a base hit, and he's on first base on a ball earlier when he got to L.A. He'd have been out trying to pull it.
So now Jock Peterson, who was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded back in the third inning to drive in a run.
You know, Kenny, you talked about the job Dusty Baker has done. I found it very interesting how he characterized this situation of his team now 1 win away from advancing. He likes to hunt, he likes to fish, and he said it's like hunting and fishing when you're chasing something that's down to its last breath. That's when you will bring out the best in your prey. And he knows how difficult it is to close out a series.
Right, he has lost his last 7 opportunities with the Cubs and the Reds. The last 7 potential series clinching games for Dusty Baker managed ball clubs, they have lost.
3-10 for Dusty Baker. His teams with a chance to close out a series.
Yeah, he said, I've been up and I've been down. I've been on both sides of it.
And he referenced the San Francisco Giants last night as they were so close to getting swept by the Cubs, but fought off elimination. Although, as we talked about earlier, neither manager was able to make it up for the end of that game.
Yeah, but you talk about down to your last breath. The Giants down to their last 5 outs, facing Aroldis Chapman. Came out to live another day.
Talk about living another day. I'm sending Josh Reddick here, down 0-2 in the count. That way, if he gets thrown out, you got Peterson starting over next half inning, leading it off. Maybe just jog.
Around third, Reddick coming home. He will score. The Dodgers take a 5-2 lead. Second run batter into the game for Jock Peterson.
Again, 2 strikes. Nice job of hitting. Taking what they give you. The velocity, you both talked about how hard this kid throws. You're not going to pull this pitch. Josh just reached out and touched it. And Josh Reddick scores on this.
97 miles an hour away on balance, and a break for the Dodgers. I thought originally this ball might hop over that short wall.
He thought
you almost got it, Josh. Watch it. It's a very short wall there. Stays in the ballpark, allowing Reddick to score from first.
I was wondering why it took him so long to get to second base. And now I saw in the replay why. He actually thought he got it. He's got that type of power. Reddick running all the way. The ball's in front of him. You don't need a third base coach. But Jock Peterson thought this ball was out.
Yeah, I don't know why, though. I love guys who watch home runs, but when they're obvious home runs. It's playoff baseball here. Take nothing for granted.
Let's go.
I looked up, and I was watching Reddick come around third, and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to throw it back in. And then I was like, they got a shot at second base. I didn't know what had happened.
That's the first run allowed by the Nationals bullpen this entire series. The starters had allowed all 13. 5-2 Dodgers. Here's Grandal. Grounded out with the bases loaded his last time up. He's now 0 for 3 with the bases loaded in the series.
Now this is where that rain out comes into play with Sammy Solis, the left-hander. Dusty Baker would love to just stay with lefties against this Dodger lineup. You see what happens as soon as a right-hander comes in the game.
Grandal in the series, 14 plate appearances, 11 with men on base, no runs batted in. He is 2 for 13. Both hits coming in game 1. Peterson, the runner on second. He's driven in a pair today. And now the 0-2 to Grandal, missing away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, they've really given him fits. They've given him a different look almost every time. Mainly getting him out on off-speed pitches, slow curve balls, sliders, showing him a pitch right there, the fastball up and away. I think they'd probably come back with something off speed again, because that's been the steady diet and the way they've been getting him out with runners in scoring position. There it is. Another hook.
So Grandal strikes out to end the inning. Dodgers add a run. It's now 5-2 through 5. You got to Hollywood this week, Harold?
Yeah, I actually did. Got over into
You're
Hollywood
so
a little
Hollywood.
bit.
Why am I not
We had a day off
surprised?
yesterday. Got a chance to go see Hollywood. Didn't go to the sign.
Hollywood Herald. 5-2 Dodgers as we head to the 6th. After Jock Peterson drove in his second run of the game, Clayton Kershaw facing Jason Worth. So, guys, for the second time in this series, a starting pitcher is pitching into the 6th inning.
Yeah, first time for the Dodgers. Their starters have gone 5, 4 1/3, 3. The trend was not good, and Clayton Kershaw has stopped that.
Max Scherzer went 6 for the Nationals, took the loss in game 1. As Worth leads off the 6th inning with a base hit into left field. His second hit today. Leadoff man is on for the Nationals. Well, the NLDS continues next on FS1. Cubs battle the Giants in game 4. And if either of these series extend to 5 games, we'll be right back here on FS1 on Thursday. Then on Friday, it's the ALCS on TBS, the Blue Jays and the Indians.
Did you see AJ Gonzalez moving again?
John Lackey, Matt Moore, the Game 4 starters tonight in San Francisco.
Pretty nice when you're Game 4 starter. John Lackey has won 2 clinching games of World Series.
Daniel Murphy left field. Catch is made by Tolles. One away.
You know, he hammered that.
That's the way to get him out. Have him hit it at somebody.
Yeah.
But you see the better swings now. More even light between the mound and the plate.
Well, I'll tell you what, for Clayton Kershaw to get to this point in the game after that first inning tells you all about who he is. He doesn't have the great stuff today. This is not the overpowering 96 with the nasty off speeds and the cutters and everything on the corners, and you get 2 strikes, forget about it. That's not that guy today, but he's given the Dodgers more than they could have asked for. As you look at the man prancing around getting ready for Game 5, he has to go Max Scherzer. But Kershaw's given you something that they needed to have today.
Well, I think he's gotten better as this game has gone on, especially glove side of the plate. He's found the slider much better than what he had in Game 1. And you're right, Harold, after the way he started in that first inning with 27 pitches, he's done a tremendous job giving the length that Dave Roberts wanted. Keeping a close eye now, though, on short rest.
Well, I think this is the difference again with the American League and National League. You know, he was really able to survive because he got down to the bottom half of this Nationals order, and they did nothing with him. And he just pitched right through it and got himself into a rhythm and got pitch counts down to get through innings. And he was able to survive.
The 2-0 to Rendon, catching the corner for a called strike. And Harold, Tom, you've been talking about.
I mean, you got 10 outs in the bottom half of the order, but 6 of them from strikeouts.
Right.
So what I was talking about, his stuff isn't dominating. The top half of the inning has, of the order, he's not dominated those guys, but he's managed the game, and that's what you wanted if you were the Dodgers. Let Clayton get you through 5 or 6, and we'll go to the bullpen. So he's into the 6th inning now, and this is all Dave Roberts would ask for. You see Rick Honeycutt making the call out to the pen now.
Yeah, in a normal game with Clayton Kershaw, you see the pitch count at 82. Nobody's on the phone. But given that he's on short rest, given that he had to gruel through that Game 1 start, it's a shorter leash, no doubt about it. And oh, by the way, facing elimination.
Rendon drives this one. The center of the diving catch is made by Peterson.
Tell you what, that's a great play. If that ball gets by him, you're talking about a runner at third, 1 out, and a run scoring. That's tremendous. The angle that he stayed on, the plane, staying down, and being able to read this off this shadow coming at him. Look at him stay down the last second dive and be able to cut that ball off. That's a game-saving play. When you look back at Clayton Kershaw's day, that might have got him through this inning right here. That was a huge play.
Kershaw's reaction. Now 2 outs. Here's Zimmerman. 0 for 2 today.
So we watched a base hit, a ball hit hard by Murphy for an out, and that line out right there. So the last 3 hitters have hit the ball very hard, but he's got 2 outs, and he's about ready to get through this inning.
Better lighting conditions again. I still like his stuff.
I think this is it for me.
This will be pitch number 85 by Kershaw. Leadoff man reached. Worth with a base hit into left field. Trey Turner has scored both Washington runs today. Run off the first and third with singles, came around to score.
He's done.
The 0-2.
For me, he's gotten me more than I could have expected after that first inning. If I'm the Dodgers and I'm Dave Roberts, he gets through the 6th. Thank you, Clayton. It's been phenomenal.
Pitcher spot due up second in the bottom half. There's Pedro Baez up and throwing in the Dodger pen. 1-2 to Zimmerman, foul back to the screen.
And Tom, I just go back to what I've been saying. The top part of the order, where you're going to have your best hitters, he can't put them away. And that's a telltale sign for me that he's given me more than I could ask for.
Well, I think, again, National League rules come into play with his spot coming up in the order, second next inning. Baez prepared in the event of the pinch hitter. He wanted that one. The rainbow curveball. Clayton almost has to snicker himself, saying, I threw exactly what I wanted to throw there. Tough to get that pitch called a strike, though, because it dropped so late into the strike zone. Where was it when it was over the plate? A little bit up.
The 2-2. Got him. Strikeout number 10 for Kershaw through 6. Bottom of the 6th inning from Dodger Stadium with Andrew Toles leading off for the Dodgers against Reynaldo Lopez. Dodgers with a 5-2 lead. If the Dodgers win today, they will force a Game 5 in Washington on Thursday. And Clayton Kershaw has come out into the on-deck circle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they use this. If Tolles gets on, clearly he's out there to bunt. If he doesn't get on, maybe you see Andre Ethier pinch hit. You also have the option of you got Espinosa leading off, then they go to the. He's handled the bottom of the order pretty good, but I still think he's done enough on the mound for me today.
I don't know. I still like his stuff, and I think Dave Roberts, Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, talked to him. He knows himself best.
89 pitches over the first 6 innings for Kershaw as Tolles grounds out to Murphy.
He's gonna hit. He's staying in.
You know, I want people really to appreciate, and he deserves a big ovation here from Dodger fans.
Clayton Kershaw.
I want people to appreciate what this man is doing. The last 4 years, this is the 4th time he has started a postseason game on short rest. All the other pitchers in baseball combined have done it 7 times. And not only is he doing it again on short rest, have to remind you, this guy thought maybe his season was over midway through the season because of a back injury. Pitching with his team's season on the line. And now he's saying, leave me in the game.
Well, I think he's gotten a bad rap, too, in the postseason. I know the Cardinals got to him a little bit, but this is not the same bullpen that they have now. And I think that changes everything. If they had had a pin, as well as he was pitching the games they started to get to him on, they would have been able to lift him if they felt like they had a bridge to get to Kenley Jansen. They never did.
I mean, other than that first inning again where he's finding his equilibrium on the mound, I think his stuff has been spot on. 10 punch outs in 6 innings and still left in the tank. Amazing what this guy is doing in today's game and day and age.
Count is full. Career postseason record 2-6, and 4 of those losses Harold alluded to have come at the hands of the St. Louis Cardinals. Chase Utley on deck, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. Dodgers with a 5-2 lead. Payoff pitch to Kershaw. And Tom, you talk about short rest. Should this go to a game 5, Dave Roberts confirming to us that Rich Hill would be his starter on short rest on Thursday.
A little bit of a surprise, right? Because after the rain out, he ruled out the idea of Rich Hill coming back on short rest.
Ball 4 to Kershaw. He draws a 1-out walk.
What a grinder.
he's given them everything you need and then some, because if the Dodgers didn't get length out of their starter today, obviously you got to win this game, but they don't get length out of him and say they did win the game anyway, and you go to game 5, you go to game 5 with a depleted bullpen. And Tom, I thought you really drove this point home really well, how important that rain out has really affected this series with 3 games in a row, not having the days off.
It's been a bullpen series, like most series around baseball this postseason.
Chase Utley hit by a pitch his last time up.
These are generally the guys that Chase feasts on. And that breaking ball right there gave him something a little bit different to look for. But you try to reach back and throw a ball by him, that's like trying to sneak cheese by a rat. It ain't going to happen.
The 0-1, and now time is called by the home plate umpire, Tom Hallion. Dodgers with 2 in the first, 2 in the third. They added a run in the 5th. Dodgers knocked out the Washington starter Joe Ross after just 2 2/3. Now 2-1 on Utley.
Be careful here. About ready to get hurt. I'm telling you. Not able to locate. You got to reach back with your number one. Chase Utley knows it's coming. And he pulled the string. What a gutsy pitch. He misses with that. You go back to a 3-1 count. He pulls the string 2-1. Look at Utley's ready, geared for that fastball, and it didn't come. It's a big pitch.
The 2-2, and Utley strikes out. 2 away. Well, T-Mobile One lets baseball fans dig into the game with unlimited LTE data on their smartphones. Show us how you're a baseball fan by using hashtag #UnlimitedBaseball for a free MLB Shop gift code and the chance to win tickets to every 2017 World Series game. Who will it be in the World Series this year? Down to 6 teams. 2 in the American League, still 4 in the National. Corey Seager 0 for 3.
Well, it's been such a great baseball season. And you like it when teams haven't been there for a while, like Cleveland, and all of a sudden they're back in the fold. And I think they're the surprise team in this whole run. Losing the starting pitching that they lost, and they're still hanging around relevant.
You saw Ryan Zimmerman just called time there just to remind Lopez, I'm going to play behind him. With 2 outs, double play no longer in order. Play for range.
Yeah, he really doesn't even have to be as close as he is. If you want, I want Kershaw to run. If I'm Washington, take off.
I want Kenny to break out his stopwatch again, because this is one thing that always concerns me when a pitcher late in the game gets on base and how long he's out there and stays out there before he has to get back on the mound. Another big difference, subtle difference, but sometimes a big difference between the leagues. Starting pitcher in the American League, he's sitting back in the clubhouse.
Seager with all 3 of his hits in this series in the first inning. 0 for 12 from the second inning on. The 2-2 from Lopez. Full count.
Severino's not going to make many friends with umpires. A lot of times when he doesn't get the call, he'll leave the glove there. Umpires don't like that. Not going to change the call.
Kershaw goes, payoff pitch. Seager fouls it off.
Well, you see the respect that they have for Seager hitting the fastball. Not seeing many of them. You think when you possess a high 90s fastball, it's like, here it is. I'm in the shadows. I dare you to challenge me. Still didn't want to throw it.
Seager strikes out to end the inning. Through 6 at Dodger Stadium, game 4, 5-2 Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw taking the mound with short rest after starting game 1 on Friday night in Washington. Pitching into the 7th with a 5-2 lead. He has struck out 10, has allowed 2 runs on 5 base hits, all singles. And Danny Espinosa with his first hit of the series. He had been 0 for 9 overall, 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts against Clayton Kershaw.
And that's got to be a wake-up call to that Dodger bench and bullpen right there. Espinosa hadn't even, he's probably swung 3 times each at bat and hasn't put a ball in play. Probably 15 swings without fouling it off. And right there, he hops up, hits the first pitch. And Tom, I was going to say, look, you're down 5-2, at least bunt. And he got a fastball and got a base hit.
That's amazing. He got it through that 5.5 hole because they shade him over there. Corey Seager does, but he hit a bullet.
So now Severino, the Nationals catcher, 0 for 2 today. Chris Heisey has come out into the on-deck circle to bat for the pitcher Lopez, with the Nationals trailing by 3.
Well, I said at the top with Clayton Kershaw, triple digits was the key. 101 pitches, game 1. I think that's about his limit, and he's creeping up on it. I don't believe he will face the tying run if we get to that point.
He threw 101 pitches in game 1. 93rd pitch today is in for strike 2 to Severino.
Well, I think this may be, well, I don't know if you want him to face Heisey. And you're right, if he's on, the tying run comes to the plate, then I agree with you there, Tom, 100%.
Avilan and Baez in the Dodger pen. The 1-2, missing away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Riccone cut, Dave Roberts. Their Dodgers have a 5-2 lead. The 2-2 from Kershaw. Severino down on strikes. That is strikeout number 11.
Still spot on with his stuff.
Next hitter, number 14, Chris Heisey.
And the matchup on Heisey, Dave Roberts knows it, 3 for 18 against Clayton Kershaw. It's a case where the numbers favors Kershaw and keeps him in the game.
Kershaw 1 shy of his postseason career high for strikeouts in 1 game. Riccone cut on the phone to the Dodger bullpen. Heisey, the active leader in career pinch hit home runs with 14.
Well, when it comes to those numbers, I like to know, when were they accumulated? When was the last time he did it? You know, was he dominating him last season, 2 years ago, today? You gotta have a little more context. I'm sure they do. We don't have all those numbers, but I mean, we do have them. I don't. But that's what you got to look at if you're asking me. He just missed that.
Left center. Peterson, 2 away.
Not often against Kershaw you get a pitch middle. He got one, and his reaction told you everything you need to know about what he should have done with it.
How about this one, guys? Kershaw, second pitcher in postseason history with at least 10 strikeouts and an extra base hit with his team facing elimination. Bob Gibson, Game 7 of the 1967 World Series.
It's a Williamsport game, Little League game.
Yeah.
The best player on the field is the pitcher. Drives in runs the bases. Doesn't happen much here in the show. He's doing it today.
pitching on short rest in Game 4 of the division series for the 4th consecutive October. Beat the Mets last year. Went 7 innings in that game, allowed just 1 earned run. And then New York would win Game 5.
Well, just so impressive. This is why you give guys big contracts. And you want your big money man to step up on the big money game. And this is a money game for the Dodgers. And they went to the big man, and he's give them everything you want. He gave them everything in this game you could ask for.
Pitch number 100. In for strike 2 to Trey Turner.
You know, that Ephus changeup is so hard to pick up when he comes out of that slide step on the delivery, because he jumps at you and then the ball floats.
The 1-2. Turner with 2 hits today. 2-2. Diving stop by Seager. Safe at second. Is Espinosa.
You know, it was interesting. Right before that pitch, I was watching Seager. Now, I don't know if he's safe or out on this. Replay will definitely show us. But Seager moved about 3 steps to his right, anticipating the ball being hit in the hole, and then Turner went back up the middle on cueing that pitch. I was looking at that. It was kind of strange to me that he would move that much that early. And it was just enough to make a difference. We talk about a game of inches, right? I don't know if he's safe. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I thought watching it live, he beat the play at second base. Just a little bit of a hesitation getting the ball out of the glove. And he's in. And Kershaw is out.
With Bryce Harper looming.
He's leaving him in. You know, Harold, it's interesting. You mentioned Seager moving there. As you know, middle infielder reading the sign, saw the curveball was coming.
No, but he moved
anticipating the ball getting hit to the pull side.
He moved like way before the pitch. That's why it was so strange. Similar to we saw Adrian Gonzalez would run right when the pitcher was getting the sign, right, or before it. Seager moved actually almost before the sign, then gave the sign to Utley that he had coverage on the steal.
Dave Roberts went out to the mound himself and left his ace in the game.
2 on, 2 outs.
I didn't think Clayton would face the tying run, but again, the numbers come into play. Bryce Harper with just 2 career hits off Kershaw, the most strikeouts against any pitcher in his career against Clayton Kershaw.
Just 2 for 20. 1 for 5 in this series against Kershaw. The 0-1.
Well, that was a nice take right there by Harper. But here's the look back. Clayton's not even looking at Dave Roberts. So here's what we're going to do to this guy right here. I'm staying in. Your money man at the money time. I love it.
Chance of Kershaw from the crowd here at Dodger Stadium. The 1-1 to Bryce Harper. Strike 2.
If you look at Grandal's setup, he's off the plate, and he was there before. That's why you got everybody yelling and screaming. There's a good look at Kershaw's reaction. He thought he might have got it.
Well, if you paid money for this game, your money's worth is right here. Cy Young winner against the MVP, representing the tying run in what's an elimination game for the Dodgers.
Grandal out to the mound.
This is what makes postseason baseball great. Moments like this. And we've lost that a little bit because we go to the bullpen so often. And it's a rarity to see Clayton Kershaw. That's why Bumgarner became such a great phenomenon when the Giants made that great run through the postseason before. Because he got to pitch in moments like this. This is when you want your stars doing their thing.
The 2-2. Payoff pitch to Harper, and he fouls it back.
Well, you know this is Kershaw's last hitter. Gets him out or he doesn't. This will be it.
Still had enough on that challenge fastball to get it off the barrel. Does he have one more pitch left?
Runners go. Another foul.
Ooh, that was one he should have hit. He got a pitch to handle right there. It's inner half, fastball. A little bit up, but it's one that Bryce can handle. Is this great or what? Love it.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat. Missing away, ball 4. Harper heads to first. The Nationals have loaded the bases, and that will be all for Clayton Kershaw.
I love the fact he let him battle. You know, that he just missed on a couple pitches that he would have liked to have had. But we are looking at one incredible competitor.
2/3. Leaves with the bases loaded here in the top of the 7th inning. 110 pitches for Kershaw. 11 strikeouts, 1 shy of his career postseason high. So it will be Pedro Baez on in relief of Kershaw, and we see his numbers from the 7th inning on during the postseason. Pedro Baez pitching in each of the first 4 games in this series. Jason Worth 0 for 3 lifetime against Baez. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Oh. And Worth is hit by the pitch. A run will score. It is now a 2-run game. The 10th hit batsman of this series, the 4th today.
It's amazing. You still haven't had a hit with the bases loaded, but that'll get the job done and keep the line moving. And now with Murphy coming up, Dave Roberts has another decision to make.
You got to make this as difficult on Murphy as possible. Here's Kershaw's reaction. Oh,
I've got to bring in a left-hander against Murphy.
I'm with you.
So it is now a 5-3 game. Bases loaded for Daniel Murphy as Roberts heads back out to the mound. So Baez exits. Here comes Luis Avilan.
It's tough on Baez. You know, he was up early because he thought he was going to get in when Kershaw got in trouble. Then he didn't get in, and then he comes in later and hits the guy at the first pitch.
Daniel Murphy steps in to face Luis Avilan, the left-hander, who struck out Murphy with 2 men on to end the 6th inning yesterday.
That was in poor lighting conditions mid-game.
Murphy has driven in 2 runs today, and he takes ball 1 with the bases loaded.
Rondon wanted to know where that pitch was. Avilan's MO, establish fastball to get ahead and get out lefties with a changeup. There's a changeup right there.
Wow. I'm wondering where that was at, too.
One of the more effective left-on-left changeups in the game. Good downward motion.
The 1-0 to Murphy. And Murphy with a base hit into left center. Turner scores. Here comes Harper. This game is tied at 5.
All that set up on the first pitch on this at-bat. Murphy You talked about yesterday's AB. That's all data for a hitter. And now you get the matchup again. He takes the first pitch, and it was a clean, I'm not swinging. Here's a look at it. First pitch, he's not even flinching. All he's going to do is track the baseball. Watch him. That's the base hit right there, actually. As he drives that in, he knows it's going to fall. Watch this pitch here. Just tracks it the whole way, watching the ball. And now he's like, got a good feel for it. Now you get the next pitch, stays on it. I mean, this is one of those things. We got a guy sitting back in the studios at Fox. He's got 4,256 hits. You ask him, he'll tell you. Pete Rose, and he was the best. Dusty Baker and I were talking about this, at tracking the ball. And he said Murphy does that like Pete Rose. That was the compliment he gave Daniel Murphy. That's pretty impressive.
Daniel Murphy, who has driven in 4 runs in Game 4. 4 of the 5 runs scored by the Washington Nationals. They have scored 3 here in the 7th. Here comes Joe Blanton out of the Dodgers pen. Postseason hero last year for the New York Mets, had 3 home runs in the division series against the Dodgers. He has driven in 4 runs today here in Los Angeles. Clayton Kershaw cannot bear to watch. Nationals have tied the game. Anthony Rendon facing Joe Blanton. It's the 4th different pitcher for the last 4 Washington Nationals hitters. Guys, think back earlier this inning. 2 outs, runner on first. How close was that play at second base on the ball hit by Trey Turner? Dodgers would have been out of the inning with a 5-2 lead. But instead, 4 straight Nationals have reached base, and it's a tie game.
Well, it's a game of mistakes as well. Baez making mistake first pitch, hitting Jason Worth with a pitch. And Avilan with a mistake to Murphy. We've talked about it throughout the series. The best fastball hitter in the big leagues, Daniel Murphy, hits .420 on fastballs in the zone. And Avilan gave him a fastball in the zone, right where you have to stay away from.
Rendon behind 0-2. First and third, 2 outs. And Rendon is down on strikes. The inning finally comes to an end, but the Washington Nationals score 3 runs as Clayton Kershaw exited. It is now 5-5 in Los Angeles, 7th inning stretch time. Bottom of the 7th inning in Los Angeles. Mark Szepczynski, the 4th Washington Nationals pitcher today, in a 5-5 game, facing Justin Turner, leading off for the Dodgers, looking to bunt his way on. Severino, the throw, one away.
Big surprise right there from one of the Dodgers' leading home run hitters, but Anthony Rendon playing very deep at third base. And they keep that area in the plate very soft. The ball just stuck like it hit Velcro.
Yeah, I think he wanted to pull that bunt to third base, but I may have to question that there. You got a left-hander on the mound. You got a ton of left-handers in your lineup. You're that one right-handed power source. And I know he struggled against left-handers this year, but I got to see him swing the bat as another right-hander hops up right now. Mr. Puig to the on-deck circle.
Adrian Gonzalez takes strike one. 2-run homer back in the 1st inning. Second appearance of the series for Szepczynski, pitched in game 2, an inning out of 3rd. So Puig on deck, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning in a 5-5 game, with the Nationals leading the best-of-5 series 2-1. One and two on Gonzalez, who earlier today became the 3rd player to homer in the same postseason round in 4 consecutive seasons, joining, ready for this, Mickey Mantle and Derek Jeter. Gonzalez with an NLDS home run 4 straight years. The 1-2.
It's pretty good stuff.
Not quite the same as the Mick doing it in the World Series.
Exactly. 55 through 58 for Mr. Mantle. His career numbers against Szepczynski, 4 for 6 with a home run. And Gonzalez down on strikes, 2 away. Well, we showed you the numbers heading into this game. Kershaw in the postseason, innings 1 through 6. All 3 runs in the 7th charged to Kershaw. Check out that earned run average from the 7th inning on in his postseason career.
Well, today's a little different story. You know, he was set up nice to get out of that with the bullpen.
Yasiel Puig announced as the pinch hitter. Dusty Baker calls for the right-hander.
Clayton Kershaw. That's epic in July. In October, beyond epic. Kershaw getting ahead. This is with the curve, but here's the fastball. Gets now a 2-strike count, 1-2, and he's not going to be able to put away Bryce Harper. Misses with the curve. Now he's going to go fastballs. Remember, that's the way he's been pitching him, getting that pitch up in the zone that Harper's had trouble with, fouling it off and getting to another pitch. Kershaw had Harper 1-2. He had walked only 2 hitters all year after 1-2 counts.
Wow.
He let the fish get away.
So now the pinch hitter Puig facing Blake Trinan. 73 appearances during the regular season. Picked up the win in game 2 after going an inning and a third. Puig is 0 for 4 in this series. 3 walks, 2 intentional. Bases empty, 2 outs. Remember what Dave Roberts told us prior to game 1. He said Yasiel Puig will be a factor in this series.
Sure did. I think it's a 1-1 fastball right here. Might be. Got to keep it down the way if you're going to go after this guy, though. They made sure they were not going to give him anything close to hit in the sweet spot.
Heavy, hard sinker from Blake Trinan, his best pitch. That shows you how important Puig is, though, to the Dodgers, because he got the left-hander out of the game with the bases empty and 2 outs. You know about the Dodgers' trouble against lefties.
Excuse me, Tom. No career postseason home runs for Puig in 20 games. The 2-1 from Trinan. 2-2.
You know, Trinan's an amazing story. This guy had to walk on at South Dakota State. He was at University of Arkansas and wanted to walk on there. They didn't have a program for walk-ons. So then he went to a junior college. Then he transferred to South Dakota State and made the club as a walk-on.
And now here he is in the 7th inning.
How's that happen?
Game 4 of the NLDS. The 2-2. Puig went around.
You know, Dave Roberts is saying, how can you make that call from behind the plate? I don't mind if you go to first base for help, but how do you see pitch and swing? Tom Hallion saying, listen, if I see a swing, I'm calling it.
Yeah, no, that's the most frustrating thing for any hitter. I said that earlier in the series. You always want to have that guy ask. At this point in time, now if you ask, the umpire is just going to say yes.
Did he go?
No, he didn't go.
No.
Dodgers obviously not happy with him after the
all you
strike
want
three called on Puig.
ask. You just want the umpire to ask. You ask for help, you diffuse everything. And I said this in Washington, I still stand by it. I don't know how you can see a pitch and a swing at the same time. You just can't. Just ask.
Well, an umpire has to call what he sees. Tom Hallion's convinced he saw a swing, so he's not going to ask, what did you see at first, when he says, I saw a swing.
But he missed it.
Well, it happens.
But that's my point. On that play, you don't have to say, I saw this. You can get help. You don't get help on balls and strikes on a normal pitch. But on a check swing, you got the safety valve. Just ask.
Yeah, I'm not defending it. I'm just saying if he sees something, he makes a call. Ball or strike, swing or no swing.
And now the 0-2 to Ryan Zimmerman. A call, strike three.
Now what base umpires are trained to do is to look down the line. There is no rule book definition of a swing. It has nothing to do with intent. Okay, so base umpires looking down the line, set up on the foul line, and if they see the barrel cross the foul line, the plane of the foul line, they will make a call. Easy to see from there, right? Not so easy to see from behind the plate. My judgment, that barrel did not cross the foul line. And again, that's rule of thumb, not book definition. Should not have been a swing.
Danny Espinosa single, leading off the 7th inning. His first hit of the series came around to score.
I'm with you, Tom. And great definition, because a lot of people think it's intent. And as a hitter, the first thing you're thinking is you're going to swing, right? That's the angle that still not the first base umpire's angle, but I think if he gets help, I think he says he didn't swing.
And now Espinosa lays down the bunt, rolls foul.
9 bunt hits on the season, most of them of that variety. If he sees the second baseman back a little bit, he wants to take the ball with him. But I talked to him about the dirt in front of the home plate, and he said that really changes the calculus of when he bunts, because he likes to get the ball where the grass meets the dirt at second base, and it's so soft in front of the plate, it takes the steam out of the bunt.
Yeah, if you're going to pull that ball as a left-handed hitter towards the second baseman, ideally you would like a fastball that's up, and you don't want to hit it in that dirt spot that you're talking about. You want to hit it on the grass and shoot it towards that second baseman. And then it's a foot race.
The 0-2 from Blanton.
But he caught me by surprise with the bunt attempt there, because he has a little more thunder on the left side and seems to be a little bit more of an advanced hitter on the left side than he is on the right. And normally, if you want to bunt, you bunt like first pitch or so, because if you foul it off now, I got 2 to work with. You generally don't bunt when you have 1 strike, and then you end up having 2 strikes, the ball goes foul, and you're in trouble.
Espinosa calls time.
Great job on that definition, Tom.
That's my umpire training.
No, I liked it because I think, that's the one area I think there's a big fallacy in, because there's not a rule on it. You have a lot of different looks, but everybody says, oh, he intended to swing. Well, everybody does. That's why you're up there.
One of the toughest calls in baseball, whether you're behind the plate or even when you're down the line.
The 1-2 to Espinosa, now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pedro Severino waiting on deck. Nationals scored 3 runs in the 7th inning to tie this game. Bryce Harper with a key walk. Nationals have scored 5 runs today without an extra base hit. Daniel Murphy has driven in 4 of the 5 Washington runs.
Tell you what, we've been blessed this postseason with some great games already. You go back to the one that started in the other series in the National League, the first game in Chicago. You go back to the wild card game with Bumgarner. I mean, there's been some great games already.
The 2-2. Espinosa flies out to the right fielder Puig for out number 2. Well, the NLDS continues next on FS1. Cubs and Giants, and if either of these series extend to 5 games, we'll be right back here on FS1 on Thursday. Then on Friday, the ALCS kicks off on TBS with the Blue Jays and the Indians. The starting pitching matchup tonight in San Francisco.
Yeah, and I didn't even mention last night's game and the great games we've had so far. This is a nice matchup in San Francisco tonight.
Joe Blanton, terrific curveball and slider. Should be curveball first pitch right here to a good fastball hitter.
Either or, got the slider.
Severino 0 for 3. Of course, the Nationals are without Wilson Ramos. Going with Severino and Jose Lobaton, who hit a huge home run for Washington in Game 2. Ramos with the team here in Los Angeles as Severino falls behind 0-2.
I'd be surprised if he throws a fastball at all.
The 0-2 from Blanton, and Severino got a piece of it.
Joe Blanton really remade himself, especially with how he uses his pitches. Coming out of the bullpen, much more reliant on his ability to spin the baseball. As a starter, had to work in his fastball more, set up his breaking balls. Now, steady diet. Sliders, curveballs.
A World Series champion with the Phillies back in 2008. The 0-2 to Severino. Now 1-2. As the fans voice their displeasure to the home plate umpire, Tom Hallion. It was low.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. Tom's getting hammered for something he didn't do.
2-2. Dodgers had a 5-2 lead. Nationals had a runner on first with 2 outs in the 7th inning and would score 3 runs. Jason Worth hit by a pitch to drive in a run, and then Daniel Murphy on the left, Worth on the right. Murphy a 2-run single. Bounce to the shortstop, Seager. We head to the bottom of the 8th here at Dodger Stadium in a tie game as Los Angeles looks to extend this series. Bottom of the 8th inning in Los Angeles. Kenny Albert, Harold Reynolds, Tom Verducci, J.P. Morosi. Jock Peterson leads off for the Dodgers against Blake Trinan. Peterson has driven in 2 runs today on a hit by pitch and a double.
This is a matchup, if I'm Dave Roberts, I like. Peterson swinging the bat well. Good low ball hitter. Trinan, strength, keeping the ball low.
First pitch inside. Ball 1 to Peterson.
The Nationals have used Zepchinski and Perez, 2 of their left-handers. The third left-hander, Sammy Solis, been used a lot. Dusty Baker trying to stay away from him. Trust in Trinan and the hard sinker and slider.
The 1-0 from Trinan. 1-1.
Well, Tom, I think you make a great observation with low ball pitcher and a low ball hitter. You know, oftentimes you look at matchups and you look at what's going to work best for you as an offensive player. And Jock Peterson's looking for something down. It's a good matchup for him. I'd force him to have to hit the ball the other way.
Grandal on deck. The 1-1 from Trinan. Swing and a miss by Peterson. 1-2. Nationals looking to advance. With a victory today, they would. Dodgers hope to force a Game 5 at Nationals Park on Thursday.
You know, when you look back through this series, you're looking for the Dodgers to come up with that one big hit. And they just haven't. It doesn't seem like they've been able to come up with that big hit that propels them.
He has.
Yes, Murphy's definitely done that.
Now the 1-2 from Trinan. And Peterson strikes out.
Catcher, number 9, Yasmani Grandal.
Today's telecast is sponsored by Bud Light. Raise one to right now. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. With one away, here's Grandal. 0 for 3. Grounded out with the bases loaded back in the 3rd inning. Still no hits with the bases full for either team in this series. There have been 10 hit batsmen. 4 today. 2 of them have scored.
Yeah.
In today's game.
Well, they've really done a nice job of trying to crowd guys. You know, the home runs that have been hit from Seager leaked out back over the plate. Turner hit by a pitch inside, got a home run on a slider that's out over the plate.
0-2 on Grandal. By the way, the 10 hit batsman, that ties a record for any postseason series in baseball history.
That's saying a lot.
Worth hit by a pitch in the 7th inning, which drove in a run.
Now that begs me to ask, how far back are we talking?
Well, thanks to our statistician Ben Bowman, you're looking at the 1909 World Series Pirates and Tigers and the 2010 NLCS Phillies and Giants. 10 hit batsmen in each of those series. So it happened 101 years apart.
That's why Ben's smiling and shaking his shoulders. I see him.
He's earned his money in this series.
Yeah.
2 away. Here's Andrew Toles. Toles 0 for 3. Looking ahead, the Nationals will have the pitcher's spot due up, then Turner, then Harper in the top of the 9th.
You think Andre Ethier gets to swing the bat? He's been up there how many times to pinch hit, and then they.
Well, they don't have any statues here at Dodger Stadium yet, but it seems like there's been an Ethier statue in the on-deck circle because it never gets out in the field.
He was announced once, the other 2 times called back to the dugout, and
Look at that.
Now we have a record. Number 11.
Send that ball to Cooperstown.
Most. And Ethier is going to get the hit.
A record 11 players hit by a pitch in this series. The fourth Dodger hit by a pitch today.
Well, and they keep getting hit by breaking pitches. I think the game plan has been you got two really good fastball hitting teams. So you want to throw off-speed pitches to offset that. And they've been hit by a lot of breaking balls.
For those of you tuning in for Game 4 between the Cubs and Giants, we will get you up to San Francisco immediately at the conclusion of our game. In the meantime, that game is available streaming live on MLB Network and Fox Sports Go. So you can catch it on the Fox Sports Go app or tune in on MLB Network. Finally, an opportunity for Andre Ethier in his 11th season with the Dodgers. Broke his leg in spring training. Made his regular season debut in game number 141. Only 24 at-bats during the regular season. Comes to the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning and a runner on first as the Dodgers look to extend their season.
And Andre never thought this moment would come, this opportunity. Spent the summer at home in Arizona with the kids, coaching flag football, running errands. Thought that broken leg had him out all year. Here he is.
Base hit into left field. Toles moves to second.
His 4th time at bat against Trinan, his 3rd hit.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted. And Andre takes the ball away, shoots it through the hole. And if you're both sides of it, the Dodgers got a knock, but you also kept him in the park.
Dodgers with 2 on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning in a tie game. Here's Chase Utley. 2 for 2 lifetime against Blake Trinan. 0 for 3 today, hit by a pitch in the 4th. Toles the runner on second. Ethier takes his lead off first. Utley takes strike 1.
And just now, Sammy Solis, the last left-hander, up in the bullpen. Trying to negotiate the left-handed hitters himself.
There's Solis. He's been terrific in this series. The 0-1. Dan Bellino, third base umpire, says ball 1. You can hear the crowd react. Following the controversial strike 3 call by the home plate umpire on Yasiel Puig to end the 7th inning.
Not exactly an impartial jury.
The 1-1. 1-2.
Well, that is the pitch he has swung and missed at all day.
Back foot slider. Just make sure it's all the way in.
Looks like a fastball. That ball cuts right back on his feet there. His back foot. Figure.
Just make sure you finish it out of the zone. Otherwise, that's in the barrel of Chase Utley.
There's Toles. And Ethier. The 1-2 from Trinan. And Utley with a base hit into right center. Here comes Toles. The Dodgers lead 6-5.
Well, that's the big hit they've been waiting for. I've been waiting for. I hadn't seen the Dodgers do that. Chase finally got another ball out over the plate.
Well, I said with that slider, you better make sure it finishes out of the zone. In the zone, it's into the barrel of Chase Utley. Back foot slider designed to go out of the zone. Perfect textbook movement right there. But in the zone, into the barrel of Chase Utley. A matter of probably 6 or 7 inches. But right now, that's the difference between the Dodgers playing on or not.
The reaction of Dodgers skipper Dave Roberts as Chase Utley drives in Andrew Tolles with the go-ahead run. Sammy Solis out to face Corey Seager with the Dodgers back on top 6-5. First and third, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Solis making his 4th appearance of the series, picked up the win yesterday. With Ethier creeping down the line at third, Seager grounds out to Ryan Zimmerman. So we head to the 9th. We'll get you to the Cubs and Giants as soon as this one ends. You can check it out on MLB Network and Fox Sports Go. We will return to Los Angeles for the top of the 9th with the pitcher spot. Turner and Harper due up for the Nationals. fans dig into the game with unlimited LTE data on their smartphones. Show us how you're a baseball fan by using hashtag #UnlimitedBaseball for a free MLB Shop gift code and the chance to win tickets to every 2017 World Series game. Dodgers with a run in the bottom of the 8th to take the lead. The closer, Kenley Jansen, facing pinch hitter Stephen Drew, who takes a called strike, 0-1. Jansen entered the game in the 9th inning yesterday with the Dodgers trailing 4-3. He would throw only 16 pitches. He allowed 4 earned runs in a third of an inning, as the Nationals scored 4 in the 9th and won Game 3 by an 8-3 score. Jansen facing Drew, then Turner, then Bryce Harper.
Well, he's going to have to earn it. You know, the thing I liked about him was being able to come in today and see him in the clubhouse, and Kenley was the same guy you see every day, ready to go again today.
Drew fouls it back. Dodgers scoring their run in the bottom of the 8th after first 2 batters were retired. Tolles hit by a pitch. He would score the go-ahead run. Dodger batters have been hit by 4 pitches today. On 3 of the 4, either a run has scored or been driven in. The 1-2, and Drew's down on strikes, 1 away.
Well, something about closers, when you put them in save situations, the stuff plays up. And for Kenley Jansen, all about the cut fastball. High velocity, natural late movement.
Well, I like the fact he can go in and out with that. That was almost a backdoor slider is what his cutter looks like. Most of the time you see it bust in on left-handers, but he can keep it away from you as well.
Trey Turner, 3 hits today, has scored 3 runs. 0 for 1 lifetime against Kenley Jansen.
Well, one thing you have to watch here, defense, rightly so, no doubles position. Outfielders extremely deep. The only problem with Turner, he's so fast. On a normal base hit, being so deep, he may be able to hustle that into a double.
The 0-1 from Jansen.
Well, at this point, if he just gets on base with Jansen's high leg kick, yeah.
Dave Roberts, Dodgers with a 1-run lead. Bryce Harper looming in the on-deck circle. 1 and 2 on Turner. Great job by our entire crew, led by producer Aaron Stoikov, director Matt Gangle, technical producer Tom Lynch, technical director Zach Jensen, associate director Gilbert Cepeda, broadcast associate Sam Younger, Ben Boma crunching the numbers along with Dennis D'Agostino and Aaron Charlton. The 1-2 from Jansen. Strike 3. 2 away.
Bryce Harper.
Our game summary brought to you by Bud Light. Daniel Murphy, franchise postseason record, 4 runs batted in. There's Chase Utley, drove in the go-ahead run at the bottom of the 8th. 11 strikeouts for Kershaw, but a no decision. And a new major league record, 11 hit batsmen in this series over the first 4 games. Harper, lifetime against Jansen, 3 for 8 with a home run. Nationals down to their final out.
Again, trying to paint that outside half. You don't want that cutter trying to get in on Harper, because that natural thing he's into right now, spinning off the ball, that's going to fall right into his loop zone. You want to pitch that ball on the outside half and make him chase it.
All should be above the belt. Every pitch here above the belt. Missed a spot and got a strike. You see by the way Grandal sets the target. Not in a full crouch, slightly raised.
If you're Bryce, he's still looking inside, sitting on that 1 pitch inside, ready to turn and burn.
The 1-1.
There it was. Took a shot. But great execution by Kenley Jansen.
to the right side. Jansen covering. We go back to our nation's capital for the decisive Game 5 on Thursday.
What a play by Chase Utley.
The Dodgers stave off elimination at home. The National League Division Series is deadlocked at 2 games apiece. For Harold Reynolds, Tom Verducci, and J.P. Morosi, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Los Angeles to San Francisco. Game 4. Matt Veskursen, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, take it away.